And
Yay!
it's Wednesday and we're playing game because it's a makeup session.
Wednesday, my dude.
Yeah, it's a special day that will confuse me for the rest of the week.
Like in 2-3 days when we
Yeah.
get game again.
Surprise!
Surprise!
Three, by the way, just to confirm for you. 3.
I don't
A
know
whole
what time
week.
we
Got it.
anymore.
Okay. We're going to start with our usual introductory method. First up, we have Blackheart as
Keurig Marsh.
Bonus as
RG Thal.
Hadden as
Tilde.
Marcus as
Corvus Adalas.
Sammy as
Gifton Brockgun.
Tobias as
Caspia Pia Steelshod.
Online as
Sammy's laptop.
Okay, and you got me, Ali, as your friendly DM.
Don't worry, I'll remove her later.
That word might be pushing
You
it.
know what that thing was? Is I sat there thinking, I was sitting there going online as, what the hell is she going on about?
I figured you forgot this.
Right, and who would like to give the recap?
Well, gee, I want to do it. How great is that?
Okay, go for it, Sammy Laptop.
I say I will point out it says Sammy Lappy Top.
Lappy
you
Lop,
know.
yes.
Lappy Lop. God
Lappy
damn it,
Laptop.
stop it. All right, so last time on our adventures of Tarnstead, we had continued the escapades of the Prince's Party. It broke into some dancing after Tilde had spent a good amount of time embarrassing the poor musicians by trying to encourage them with clapping every time they reached a point where they were technically at a break of a song, causing other noble people to get involved and things like that, but attracting the attention of at least one of the performers, a young elven lady who thought, I might hit that. That progressed later as we got confirmed. She does entirely want to hit that. Dancing started up. There was a bit of a squabble that only some people in the party heard. Mostly, I believe it was RG and Carrick that heard it. Basically, the High General picking on General Zell to go dance with somebody. The High General took Cassiopeia around the floor and they mowed people down. Good times dancing. Carrick had 1 million people try to dance with him, men and women, because he was the heartthrob of the ball. Tilde had a sweet little old lady take him off after he got the name for Israel Fayhorn, the lovely bard that he was courting, that he doesn't realize he's courting, which is really awkward. RG took Roselle onto the field to dance, and he was very resistant, and they both danced horribly. And were getting looks about it. Eventually, RG handed him off to Gifton, who was a little jealous because she kind of wanted to dance with Roselle, but RG got to dance with Roselle, and she's not even sure how that happened because she wasn't paying attention to that first part. She just suddenly sees the two of them dancing. She left her husband to fend for himself against the throngs of noble women who desperately wanted to try to get into some Fey genes. The other one was Corvus got to go dance with the ambassador to Hexenreich. Greffin Sabine Elizabeth Odilgard von Baswitz. I don't know, Baswitz is the lady. Anyway, Baswitz. Anyway, she took him out and very kind of forcefully danced him around, and she was basically trying to go, hey, you should come back to our country and you should come see our people and stay at my estate. And I can't tell if she likes Corvus or if she doesn't like Corvus and she has other means, but she wants Corvus. So she's in need of Corvus to be around her properties and for talking, I think, at some point. And yeah, party went on. I eventually got to dance with Roselle. RG swapped over to dancing with Marl Dormer. He is the nice nobleman who's taking over for his father's estate that is very interested in getting involved with RG and helping her with the Thals, which I'm assuming is a little bit self-serving for his own purposes because he's probably trying to get a little bit more powerful. The High General and Gifton also eventually danced. They went up on the balcony. The big balcony fight happened. Cassiopeia threw a fork for more damage than should be possible. Which was really cool. Telde teleported away from the woman who had taken him to her private quarters and tried to get him to get more comfortable. And they talked about well, I think she was being lewd, but he was talking about playing music with her later, and he went right over his head. Accompaniment later that's going to happen. We went up to go save the king and queen. The king and queen were already dead. Roselle was protecting the prince and the princess. The group managed to fend off the 3 assailants, fighting greatly. Big fork moves. Kerr was the all-star, taking out 2 people. Also, I will say Carrick, total badass with those breaths. He had some great moves with the breath weapon and lightning, and I think RG threw ammo. Corvus showed up and healed somebody, and I think you shot once, and then Telde was shooting with the gun really, really well. Gifton kind of ran around healing people and eventually grabbed the little princess and ran inside when the shield went down. And then they took care of them for a little bit. The party eventually re-met after everything had calmed down. The assailants were all dead after they tried to blow up at when they were failing. Had a brief talk with the lead guardsman at the palace, seeing if we'd known anything. Some people mentioned that they saw Roselle moving. It seemed the quickest, like he was reacting to something before there was something to react, is what I think they were trying to say. And then we all went back to the tavern. We got back to the tavern. I was like, hey, let's all go upstairs to have talk. Telde immediately realized that he left a woman alone in a room that he was hanging out with her in and never went back to check on her. So he fled back to the palace to go see how she's doing. We had a very heated discussion upstairs where Gifton and Carrick explained that they knew that a attempt to start a war was going to happen, and they had agreed to it with Roselle and had various other conversations about things. And it kind of climaxed with coming up with lots of different ideas of things that we could do to help out, try to minimize the war as much as possible, trying to get moving on that. Gifton said, hey, let's go see if we can go find where the ambassador to Noran is, make sure he stays safe, because they should have a embassy or something like that. Because I remembered hearing the Hexenreich person talking about, you should come back to my embassy, to Carrick and Corvus a few times when we were there. And I think the ambassador to Noran was also jealous and going, oh, you should come to mine as well and come visit and whatever. And he was just picking on Corvus. And it was like, well, St. Pierre must have someplace, Antoine must have someplace that he's hanging out at. So we should go make sure he's safe. Not from, we think, the guards or the kingship or anything like that, because we don't think that they might act against the ambassador. We're worried about common people who are piecing together what's going on, possibly rioting and doing something like that. So Rufus, we're going to go do that. RG rescinded being leader of the Tarnstead Trading Company to a very shocked Gifton, who is not sure how she's feeling about that. And then RG went to the Vardo by herself. And I think everybody but RG and Telde are going out to go make sure that the ambassador in Noran is okay. And I think that's where we left it.
Okay, very good. Right, we are going to go to the main body of the group. You make your way out of the tavern. The streets are rather quiet right now. You can see people talking in doorways, shopways, all this sort of thing. Usual sort of huddled small groups of people passing gossip about. There are some very clearly upset-looking faces. As you make your way down the streets, I'd like for you all to give me a perception, we'll call it.
Do you want to throw us back on the main map?
If you'd like.
Wyndon.
You want to go to London?
What, you don't want to be in Southwest time anymore?
No, I was for the stream.
No. Okay.
Perception, you said?
Yep.
Oh, please, guys, no.
Okay. Gifton.
Mhm.
You can very much hear what the murmurs are about. They are indeed talking about an attack at the palace. They are indeed people mumbling about they hear that the king has fallen. No, it was just the queen. No, it was both of them. Some confused stuff. Some even think that the royal children have been struck down. There are some very worried murmurs about how there are none of the royal family left. And there is talk of how there was attack from Noran.
Reliable talent, 15.
Okay, in that case, yeah, you will hear this as well, Corvus.
I gotta remember that. I have that.
Do I see any station town guard anywhere as we're going?
No. You don't see a single guard on your way. Are you guys picking any particular direction as you are unsure of the residents?
Well,
I am-
Corvus knows where Boswitz is, what residence is.
Yes.
You do?
Would it be in proximity to hers, maybe?
We don't know.
You don't know.
I'm going to approach a random group of people.
Okay. Again, now, what direction would you picked out, or would you do this immediately?
I'm gonna do it fairly quickly.
Okay, I'll say in the main square here, you can see a group of people that look like just various merchants that have left their stalls and come together. They must know each other. Seem to be talking.
Excuse me.
Yeah, go.
I'm looking for someplace. Do you, in fact, know where the Ambassador Noran is staying?
Yeah, I'll know where the Noran man's is up in the more upper districts near the palace.
Okay, thank you. Anything more specific than that, or just up that way?
He points towards the palace and goes behind the back walls from us.
Thank you so much.
Follow the main road down there. You'll see it. Hard to miss.
Okay. I smile to him and give it a slight bit of a curtsy and motion for the others to follow.
Gonna follow behind. Were you inhuman?
Oh, I'm human right now. I'm still human. I'm still in my fucking part. Well, actually, not in my party dress. I'm back in my regular clothes. But yeah, my hair is still loose though, because I wouldn't have had time to braid it.
Boswitz did say that her residence was also in the palace quarter.
Maybe if this is going okay, you and Carrick can have a brief talk with her as well. Carrick, Boswitz might be the best person for you to talk to about the Eye of Morgani.
I was thinking about that actually.
Okay. If we get a chance, why don't you and Corvus? She seemed to like the two of you, and I think me and Cassiopeia and Kara are more than capable of watching after our dear Norn ambassador if we need to. I smile over at Kara and Cassiopeia, like maybe.
Okay, sort of gives a look of I don't know, but wife said so yes.
100% believe us. But only if I just want to make sure that he's safe. If he looks like he's safe, we'll go over there and check. Okay, we can go as a group.
Right. And if it does, we do have means to contact each other. So
okay. Oh, actually, can I have said that I took the main radio thing with me when I left?
Sure.
Because we were all changing into our gear. Because if I'm the leader now, I'm taking the radio hub.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I'll leave RG my own personal one.
The little walkie.
And my little walkie, so I'll have the big set, and I'll be like, and I look like I'm like regarding it as if it is really annoying to try and get this looped over onto my back.
Yes, It's in fact very difficult. That strap really presses against like the joint of your wing. It's not comfortable.
I make a face. I make a very unhappy face.
Do you want me to carry that for you? Yeah.
No, I've got it. It's my job now, I guess. All right, let's go. Let's go by the route by the library on the way.
Why is this the leadership mantle?
It is the leadership mantle.
It is the leadership mantle. It is like
I know what I ended up with by accident. So could we just like install in the clock then?
Yes, good idea. You wanna go library way?
Yep, I want to go library way.
Okay.
I'm specifically leading us library way.
Okay. So you take a little bit of an odd route, going off to the side road. As you pass by the library, the doors are open, and you can see as you walk past them, you can see inside there are a few gentlemen, not of the organisation, but of the common parlance, standing inside, sort of chattering to each other. Lowercase g. And there seems to be a rather annoyed-looking receptionist at discovering, but is not making them leave.
This is the high-class bar.
Yes.
The library.
This would be another good place for us to get some gossip about what's going on.
They do. When I've been in there before, there was a group of nobles, like I said, talking a lot.
Yeah.
I cannot go in there, obviously.
Cassiopeia and I could, though. This is something to keep in mind on the way back.
So, if you do go in there as we're walking, there's a lord that I have to meet, and I don't know where he is, but I met him in the library. He may be there now. Lord Grayson. Please send him to the
I'll send him.
Hound if you can.
I will. If we decide to do that,
Yes.
I'm kind of giving my wings a little bit of a flick, looking in the open doorway for a minute, like I'm really contemplating, and then continuing on.
Actually, let me roll something. You're making it sure. Oh no! Wow, blind fuckers. Okay, right, you walk on by.
Walking on by. All right, so we are heading up to the district that he mentioned, looking around. Are there guards yet?
You still see, you do see guards now up as you're sort of walking past the alleyways and so on. You can see towards the palace walls. There seems to be a lot of guards now. But you don't see particularly many as you continue. Do you want to head past the library up towards the palace, or do you want to continue down the sort of main street here and go around back?
I wouldn't mind going around the palace.
Okay, so you head past the library towards the palace walls to loop around it. As you walk towards the palace, yes, there are a lot of guards. There's quite a congregation of people outside. It's not a riot, there's no press and shove, but there is a clear audience. You can hear people hollering, demanding to know what's going on. You can hear some sobbing, and just yells from guards to go back to your homes.
Gifton gets that look like she wants to go help with that, but she's got a mission, so she's going to keep motioning everybody onward.
Right.
Further up, further in.
As you make your way around the palace walls, there are guards not only posted on top of the walls themselves, but standing outside, watching you as you go by. A few of them seem to recognize you and actually give you a nod, but it seems clear that they are watching for further intrusion from any direction.
I'm going to give them a nod. So that, because some of them I might know. I don't know. I don't know if these are the people I picked up. But, yeah. And
eventually, you come around the back of the palace, and this is where the direction becomes a bit vague, because you are now essentially at the palace back walls, but that covers a couple of streets. However, he did say the main street, which would make you think up here.
Yeah.
And Carrick, as you're walking along here, you're heading towards a familiar street, in fact.
Oh.
It is the street where the Morgani Temple is, where Telia and her father's little chapel is.
So take us up by Morgani.
Would your the young priest's daughter perhaps know the area?
Yes, I'm pretty sure she would.
All right, get her. I'll walk you over that way.
Okay.
You mean I'll walk you over that way because you don't know where it is?
Yeah. Well, we're walking up the street. Let's go.
Okay. I'll lead over to the temple and.
All right. As you head towards the temple, you actually spot Telia as you're walking down the street. She is outside the temple talking to a couple of elderly people. Seems to be an old lady, and judging by the way she's grasping her the man's arm, probably her husband or some kind of love consort. You don't know.
As we're walking, can I check who besides the guards may just be lingering, watching us move around?
Sure. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Why is that blue? Oh, reliable talent.
Reliable talent.
A whole lot of people. Most people seem to be out of their homes or out of their workplaces, and
everybody's looking at everybody, being suspicious.
Yeah.
No, not even just suspicion. Just people are talking about this. You see
people are curious.
See the occasional people heading off towards the palace walls themselves.
Some of us have, well, one of us has a very distinct look because I still have my wings folded down for now.
Yeah. Jealous, got it.
We are drawing a lot of attention walking around here.
It's not like I can't draw attention when I'm out.
I know it's just with everything
I have
happening.
very limited options.
Actually, while you're getting the occasional glance, people aren't really paying you much mind.
Oh,
you're striking appearances, which is getting the glances, but it seems they've got other stuff on their minds.
No. They don't linger. Yeah. Okay.
I could join you in that, Gifton, if you really want.
I wouldn't make you do anything to make yourself uncomfortable.
Tarek.
Is that,
you see Talia sort of giving you a wave as she spots you coming down the street.
I'm gonna wave back. Hi, Talia.
Hi. If you excuse me, Miss and Mr. Johnson. Thank you.
Oh, this is the first time I've seen this girl. I'm gonna size her up.
There is a sort of average height, about 5'5", so clearly half dragon.
I'm about a foot taller than her almost.
Light on skin, she's got a large tail, red scaled wings, sort of curled horns, brown hair, red eyes.
I'm doing that slow look between.
I had envisioned that Gifton was essentially hanging on Carrick's arm for him to lead her there. Just wondering if that was going to cause any interesting moments or not.
I don't know if Gifton would do that or not. So.
I have my husband right there. I'd be hanging on Care.
Yeah. And she'll quickly sort of walk on over to you and go, Eric, have you heard?
We were at the palace when it happened.
You were at the palace?
Yes.
What actually happened? I'm hearing so many different things.
The king and the queen are dead. Well, I guess soon to be king and princess are alive.
You can see she looks fairly shocked and seems to pale a bit. Her hand's going to cover her mouth, as this is very alien for Ali to even think about people loving a royal family, but they do.
You don't love your
strange times.
I'm sorry to bother you. We're trying to find the Noran embassy, or where the Noran ambassador might be staying. Could you give us directions? Carrick said you lived up this way.
Are you going to be helping take him in, or I heard it was Noran that did it?
We want to make sure nobody hurts him. Those people were crazy. I don't think that he was involved.
It's likely not with the Noran military
But
or government.
if you give me a moment to lock up, I can take you there.
Yeah.
Would appreciate that. And this is Gifton, Brockton, Brockren. I remember who's all with us.
Corvus and
Corvus.
Cassiopeia.
Atlas and Cassiopeia Steelshot. They're part of the rest of the Tarnstead Trading Company.
She
group
sort
I'm
of gives you a quick nod as she heads over to her door to look up. I'm Telia Ixinoff.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You as well. And she pulls the door closed and locks it up and quickly pushes on it to make sure it is actually locked. Or putting the keys away and starting to head down the street, motioning for you to follow her.
Could Hexenlock, could you also point out the Hexenreich ambassador estate?
It's not far from here, actually. If you go a couple of buildings past our temple, it's the largest estate.
We were thinking it might not be a bad idea for Corvus and Carrick to go speak with the ambassador about the Eye of Morgani. Yeah. I believe that was something of concern.
Yeah, it is. And where she points for the Hexenreich ambassador is vaguely in this direction.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Well, first, let us go check in on our dear Norn ambassador and make sure that there isn't a riot. And then we can handle this other business. One step at a time.
Where she actually leads you is a bit over here. Takes you into down an alleyway into I don't know if you guys have them over in London. We have these lovely sort of closed off estates that have these very fancy little central courtyards that are technically open but privately owned.
They're like closed gate communities, but they're not.
But basically leads you into one of those right here.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And as you walk in, you can see in fact you can hear it before you can see it. There are guards yelling far more firmly than the ones at the palace for people to move back, step away, go home. This is not your concern. And as you come into the courtyard, you can see there are a line of military men standing in front of what's clearly the Noran embassy. You can see some flags flying on the building.
Which military?
It is the keep, the actual military. Not palace guard.
Is it?
It's Barast.
Barast.
Okay.
It is Barast in military outside, but on the inside you can see a few Noran uniformed soldiers very much keeping watch on the gate, who look very nervous. And there is a large crowd of people.
How large is this crowd?
There's about 20, 30 people.
All right,
it's not quite a riot or anything, but there are clearly some aggressive yells of "You did this," they need to pay. I'm
casting Calm Emotions and the peasantry.
You might want to go home. Thank you for showing us.
Of course.
Sing out a few notes.
You be safe. She actually gives you a sort of little squeeze of your arm, Carrick, before she sort of heads off. And you do Calm Emotion on what are you singing, Gifton? Is it a lovely sort of just melodic sound, or you're using words?
I'm doing a melodic sound, something soft.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough to catch most people. I need to make a fuckload of really shitty saves.
They're all base 10 unless you have special people.
Yep. We're going to do an average of 10 and just do that. What's your DC?
I believe it's 15.
15.
So she catch...
more than half fail, so I'm just going to have that affect the whole crowd. That's how we're going to handle this.
Okay.
So you sort of do this little charming music, and you can see there is it's actually a little confusing for some of them. There's clear anger on their faces that starts to fade away. Yell's getting choked as it loses the venom behind it. And even the guards seem a little less angry at these people. You know, they're trying to shout them away.
I wasn't trying to hit the guards, but whoops. It happens. I figure I have to because they're interceding in the squares and stuff. So it's like, whoops, sorry.
And the crowd just sort of stands there for a moment, now unsure of itself.
Cass is going to step up and just kind of, while Gifton is doing her melodic thing, Cass is going to step up and just go home. When the crown wants to say what they have to say, they will let everyone know. But right now, everyone needs to stay calm and disperse.
One of the men at the sort of edge of the crowd, who might account for one of those 19s or 20s, gives you a bit of a look, Cass, and goes, "Who the hell's are you?"
Cass is actually going to stand up and lock eyes with him. I am Cassiopeia Steelshod.
Right, I suppose that answers my question, but, you know...
We help save the prince and the king. If you would please disperse and let these people do their job.
There's a few murmurs amongst the crowd, and you see a couple of the guards.
And I will flare my wings out really big at that.
Okay, I want Gifton to give me an intimidation check with advantage because of Cass.
Nice. I am not an intimidating creature, though, so yay. Wait, don't get my negatives because I'm not little. Yay! I get huge negatives for being little.
Okay. You see people are very much taken aback by that wing spread, and there's a bit of a shift in the crowd as they step away. And the guards actually use that momentum to start trying to hurry people off, far more gently but insistently. And the crowd does start to disperse. And you see one of the guards looking rather relieved, gives you a sort of nod as he starts moving on towards you. Thank you. You're the Tarnstead lot, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen you about the complex. You were there, right?
We were.
Shit. Thank you for stepping in. There's nothing happening yet, but they fought
We
it.
took down the assailants and nod to the group.
Is the why we are here to help with this matter?
It certainly help. We should have some more troops arriving soon to make sure the ambassador is secure, but right now things are a little...
Is he in his residence?
He's in his residence. Getting him here was one of our priorities before news spread. He'll be staying here for the time being.
Does he need any additional protections? Or the crowd seem like this won't be the only time they come?
I imagine as when the actual news gets out, things might kick off a little harsher. But by that time, we should have men in place. Although,
do you want us to stay for now?
He has that hesitant look of somebody who should be handling stuff, officially. But then he just nods. I'd appreciate it.
Cassie, would you mind staying here with me? We let Corvus and Carrick handle their business and we can rejoin here?
Yeah, I'll stay.
If you don't mind, though, I actually have to clear it with them. And he actually motions to the embassy guards.
Oh, of course. If we wouldn't want to intrude on them if they don't want us here.
Yeah. And he starts to move away before pausing and goes, "Are you at the celebration? Did you meet his ambassadorship?"
We did, yes.
On good or bad terms?
Good.
Good.
Should I mention you by name?
Yes, Gifton Brockgren.
Right. Okay. And he moves over to the guards and seems to start to have a word with them. There's some chatter back and forth before one of them heads inside. You've got about a couple of minutes to chat amongst yourselves if you want, or you can just sort of wait.
Carrick and Corvus, do you want to head off? If you have to move off, I'll message you on the radio.
Sure. It was that building's there, right?
Yeah, back that way. Yes, so I point over my shoulder in the direction, and then I'm going to give you both. I'm going to give Carrick a big hug and give a firm look to Corvus and go. Be careful. Remember, those people have your brother.
I am well aware.
This is also a great chance for you to learn what they are doing with your brother. Keep your wits about you.
Precisely what I want to know.
And if you need
that is
help,
why I'm encouraging you. Always call. We're a stone's throw away. Cassie throwing it, not me.
And Cass is nodding vigorously.
Cass, you throw Gifton, and then Gifton can throw it.
I don't want this.
Shaking her head, no.
Are we
I'm going to shoo the two of you away. We're talking quietly amongst ourselves.
So as we're being shooed away, I'm like, are you talking this Gifton or little Gifton?
This is little Gifton.
I am little Gifton. I'm the same person.
No, I bet.
No, she's saying that. I'm saying that in character.
I know. I'm saying that too. I mean, no, when you're shorter.
See, Cass can pick you up, you little. Throw open wings and just glide over.
Frankly, I think Cass can pick us up at any point.
Go!
They are going.
Shoot!
If you need anything.
Okay. RG.
Yo.
You heading down to the Fardo?
Yeah.
Yeah. You move on down to the Fardo, and a few minutes later, you actually hear your companions leaving, and you are there alone with Klopp, who just sort of snorts at you in greeting.
She's just going to kind of sadly start brushing him and just kind of saying to herself, I know you probably don't have time, but I'm going to talk to you sooner or later, Reziel. And just continue to do that and just kind of milling about by herself at that point.
Okay. And he's just wanting to sort of chill here.
Yeah, she just got out a lot on her mind and kind of wants to get herself down a bit.
Okay. Right. In that case, we will move over to Telday, who's on a very important quest.
Roger.
Telday, you departed for the palace.
Yes.
You head up the main street towards the palace, and oh boy, that's a lot of people outside the gates. In fact, quite a few more than were there when you left. There also seems to be far more of the palace guard out front now.
Why are there so many people here? Telday says into the void of area in front of Telday.
Okay, people milling about nearby you will of course hear this, and in fact one of them sort of looks and goes, "It not heard the tragedy at the castle."
Ah, yes. So what is the point of people being here?
Oh, they're wanting to see what's going on, wanting to hear news.
I see.
Well, you're here, right?
It doesn't dawn on Telday that he waited for hours in front of this one place hoping for news.
This is a completely irrational thing to do.
No, it's irrational that there's a large group of people here. You could just send one person that they'll tell him. Oh.
Do you try to move through the crowd?
Yes, Telday will
Okay.
slightly try not to push more, try to sidle through if possible.
I was hoping you'd skip your.
I want you to make me two rolls here. I want you to make me an acrobatics check, and I also want you to make me a intimidation check. Not that you're trying to be intimidating, but you are a presence.
Normal on both?
Normal on both. Okay, so a few people will just move out of your way because of, well, frankly, you look like a large armed man. But even without that, you sort of weave your way through this crowd easily. You don't so much shove people aside as sort of suggest with a little press where they should move. And they move, they do, creating little gaps that you easily sidle through until you get to the front of the crowd where there are quite a lot of guards who are actually sort of locked together quite firmly, shields in front. You see more guards behind them. Weapons not quite pointed at the crowd, but they're definitely ready.
Tilde is going to stand at semi-attention in front of them to see if they will acknowledge his existence.
You are getting some confused looks from a few of the guards in that position. And you see one sort of trying to turn his head to talk to somebody behind him while keeping an eye on the crowd, which is tricky with his helmet. And he does start to murmur something to someone behind him. Do you want to try and hear what it is, or are you just going to wait?
I will not attempt to lean in or make any sudden movements. If I could overhear it, I can overhear it. If not,
give me a perception check at disadvantage then, because there's quite a bit of noise around you.
Mm-hmm. Click. There it is. Oh.
Yeah, no damn clue. But how long are you going to stand there at attention?
I'm going to wait for about 2 minutes to see if there's any acknowledgement.
After about a minute, you see a figure approaching down the line. I think familiar to you. Large plumed helmet. It is the men that actually address you all up above. And he comes along behind the guards that you're directly in front of. Goes, Tilde, right?
Affirmative.
And what brings you back?
I wished to check upon some individual that I abandoned in my earlier duties to ensure their safety.
Let him through. The guards split ever so slightly. In fact, in their split, you see a couple move out a bit more just to make sure no one tries to press in.
We'll try to move in quickly too.
Yeah, and the line reforms behind you. And he actually leads you away from the crowd a bit. As who you're trying to look in on?
Israel Fairhorn.
Israel Fairhorn. The bards, right?
That is affirmative.
They're okay, as far as I'm aware. In their quarters, I believe. They have people staying put.
That is understandable. I only wish to ensure her safety. I left suddenly.
You shouldn't be letting people back into the palace, you understand?
And yet you have.
Oh, don't really want to talk about matters openly. And he sort of motions his head towards the crowd until we know what we're saying.
Understandable. Do you have any idea how soon you will be able to tell them something? They are likely to get riotous otherwise.
Frankly, I think they're likely to get riotous once the news breaks.
I am fairly sure that at least versions of the news are already out there.
Yes. And it's for men smarter than me to decide what news we're going to release to try and make this as easy to handle as possible.
I see. Is there something I can do?
I don't know. Is there something you can do?
Several things. I am proficient in instruments. I can perform combat arts if necessary. I am also quite adept at makeup.
He gives you a impassive stare. Well, if we have need for any of those talents, I'll be sure to send for you. I can't let you in, but I can have her escorted out if you need to see her.
It is not necessary. I just wanted to ensure her safety.
Would you like me to give word?
It would be appreciated.
Okay, I will tell her you stopped by. Do you want any more than that?
I do not see why.
And he's gonna. It looks like he's giving you an insight check and being very confused. But he sort of nods slowly and goes, "Oh, in that case, we'll see you back out then."
Are you sure I cannot provide assistance in any manner?
He looks towards the front line and goes, "How good are you at calming people?"
I do have some ability at doing so. Especially if I am provided with an instrument of use.
Instrumentation.
It serves a function. A useful tool.
Well, then I will simply say this. If you can get out there and try to keep things as calm as you can, I certainly would not object. We
Understandable.
could use a few calming voices on the streets.
I will attempt to do so then.
He nods at you firmly and starts to lead you back towards the gates.
So they will willingly go back toward the gates.
Right, you are released back out into the crowd through the line.
I'll snap off a quick salute before going through the line.
He nods firmly at you, not saluting in the military manner, but giving you a respectful nod. Before he sort of starts making his way along the line again, seeming to be overseeing the handling of this crowd.
It appears that I will need to get my instrument.
Time for instruments.
I'm going to, again, make my way through the crowd and head back to the inn.
I'm surprised you didn't get your stuff when you were at the inn.
He had priorities.
that's
The problem was, right after we got back there, I realized I had left somebody behind.
Yeah,
Thus, we immediately
the only
turned
thing,
around.
the only thing you got was that sending stone I gave you. How sad.
Yep.
Alright, you head back towards the tavern. Okay, we have Tarek and Corvus heading towards the Hexenmark Embassy, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Thankfully, not too far from the Noran Embassy. You head towards a far larger building. Seem to have been given a far more prominent holding here, where you can see the sort of red and black dragoned flags of the Hexenmark Empire on the building itself. There are guards outside wearing Hexenmark uniforms, and they are on definite alert, although there aren't any crowds or anything here. And yeah, do you want to head on up to them?
Yep.
Yes.
Or, yeah.
As you sort of move on up, you see them tense a bit. One of them stepping forward and going, "What's your business?"
They're hoping to seek an audience with Ambassador Bronzewitz, if not to offer our services and protection in these times since this has happened.
You want to offer her ambassadorship protection?
She
That totally wasn't what I sent you there
she
for.
asked us to pay her a visit while at the celebration that turned into a tragedy.
You are nobility?
No, we were guests of the High General.
Your names?
I am Carrick Marsk.
Corvus Adalas.
You see the Scar sort of step back to the door and just sort of raps on it while keeping an eye on you. And you see the door open ever so slightly. And he sort of leans in and you can hear him sort of whispering, "Tell her ladyship that there is a Carrick Marsk and Corvus Adalas here to see her." And there's a murmur from inside the door. And it quickly closes again. And the guards keep a wary eye on you. And after a couple of minutes, the door actually opens up fully, and you see a familiar figure standing there, still in the same attire she was wearing at the party. Actually looking a little distressed. Mr. Adalas and Mr. Mask,
Yes, milady.
please come on in.
Thank you.
Yes.
And you are led on in. It's a little different from visiting most nobility. Not that you've had a fast experience with that, but you know the standard procedure. There aren't any servants here that meet you or lead you in. She just sort of very casually takes you in herself to what looks to be a study. And she already moves on over to a little liquor cabinet and starts pouring herself a drink, just looking over at her shoulder as if asking, "You want anything?"
No, thank you, ma'am.
I didn't mind.
Good. Right, and she just pours you a glass of, looks like to be brandy, and brings it on over to you, Corvus, just taking a seat on her desk and sipping at her own glass.
Appreciative.
What brings you both here? I know I offered a visit, but these times...
They are just covering our contacts. Part of our group is with Master from Noran, even. Just being a presence there maybe will not cause anything to happen.
This, the poor man, this is quite the turn of events.
It is.
She stares at you expectantly.
I'm waiting for Blackie here.
I was waiting for Corvus to go honestly.
Morgani's eyes a much better starting point, sweetie.
Yeah. I know. Madam Ambassador, may I ask for some information about Granny's eye? We spoke a little bit of it at the castle.
Certainly, I can tell you what I know, but I'm not one of particular devoutness, so I only know what most learn.
Have you been there yourself?
Once or twice as a girl, yes.
Could you, since I have not had the ability to go there myself in my short life, could you maybe start by describing it to me, like what you remember?
Blackie.
Yes.
I'm gonna whisper something in your ear. Okay. We have no major presence in the Morgani Church in our country. She is the only person we know with contacts in Hexenreich. You could try to find out if maybe priests in Hexenreich are starting to go
on
missing.
the list too.
Well, when I was a girl, the pilgrimage site most known as the Eye of Morgani on the location rather than the constellation. It supports a small chapel. There's no particular ceremony. It's old, very, very old. It's more of a historic site now. Quite beautiful, quite old. It's been a very long time now. Unless you're asking about the stars themselves.
Do you? Yes, you probably get reports from. I almost said Noran. That is not the right kingdom. Hexenreich. This has to do a little bit more with something I've been running into. Have you had reports of priests, Morgani priests and priestesses disappearing in Hexenreich?
No, I have had nothing of the sort, although the correspondence I get are more, well, If what Borast has to know. You understand, I report back more than they report to me.
I understand. We've had a few disappear over in this area. And having a rather minor church here in Barast, they're far and few between. And
I had heard the little half-dragon girl near here, her father had gone missing.
yes, also a priestess in another town south called Southwestheim. Both the priest is there and the priest here are both.
Not Southwest time.
Oh yeah, no, Dolphin. Damn, you and your Southwest Time being up. Dolphin.
Both of Morgani's faith?
Yes.
And that I had not heard.
I think a lot of those that would normally be searching have kind of thought of it as just someone leaving.
And you do not think this?
My own visions make me think otherwise.
Visions?
Well, you may know that the Eye of Morgani, the constellation, is gone now.
She does not say anything to that. She just keeps watching you.
I don't know my connection. I don't know the source, but I used to see dreams of the stars blinking out one by one. I think the dragon who's still alive in my bloodline is somehow protecting me from whatever is going on, but I do not know if it is the reason, cause, or tied to it.
And your dragon, your relation, she is...
Great-grandmother.
She is still okay.
Yes, last I talked to her.
She looks surprisingly relieved to hear that. And she just sort of nods. Well, if... would you mind writing down your visions for me?
I can do that.
Yeah, and she actually pulls out some paper and a actual pen, mechanical pen for you. Yeah.
Do I have an idea of how this actually works?
No.
Steal it. We need it. It's worth
She
millions.
gives you
Something on the top,
well,
a
as far
bunch
as you're
of
aware,
that,
she's just
make sure.
giving you a cylinder.
It's a fountain pen, technically. wouldn't it
Yes.
be? Yeah.
I must admit, my lady, I do not know how to use one of this.
Yeah, look, and she just sort of unscrews the top to show this lovely sort of metal tip.
I think at that point I can figure out how.
Yes, you can figure that out.
Okay, I'm gonna start going to...
You detail out your dreams.
Yes.
Okay. And she watches you write. And as you are...
I want to do this.
What do you
See
want to
how
do?
badly... See how
gonna
bad
do
this
calligraphy?
rating is. Yep, we're going to see how bad my roll is. Because I don't have reliable talent yet. What type of... what attribute would
dexterity.
you like? Okay. Not bad.
She doesn't make any comment on your penmanship, which is a relief in itself. But as you're writing, she looks over at you, Corvus, and goes, "Yes, if you know something about all of this, then I really must extend my invitation again. I would even take you to the site of the Eye of Morgani if you wish."
I unfortunately do not have much part in what Carrick is doing, but it did seem prudent to inform you on this matter. If this is something that we'll end up doing, then for sure I will gladly take up on that offer.
Well,
So I did want to trouble you with some information as well, if you don't mind.
Depends what it is.
You seem familiar with my father, or at least our name, Adalas.
Yes.
You mentioned he was a researcher. I also had a brother, Louis Adalas.
Oh, older or younger?
Older. The actually ran into one of his family members, his son, and he had some troubling information. Is that he was taken by Hexenreich individuals via ship out of what was the town?
Do you not remember?
No, I know the town.
Roadvale?
Roadville, yes, thank you. Corvus knows the town. out of Roadville. And they others also collaborated that story that he was taken back to Hexenreich.
Well,
What reason was that? If you know.
I am not one that is kept up on the operations of the military, but if he wished to return home, then I'm sure they would have obliged him.
I'm sure he didn't, because he left his son behind of a young age.
Where is his son now? Still with you?
He is with safekeeping with family that we are friends with.
One you can trust, I hope.
Yes.
Which family?
You understand, my dear. You understand, my dear lady. I am not certain who I can trust with this information.
Pretty much, yeah. Corvus pauses. Is that I'm not willing to entrust.
I see. Well, I'm afraid I have given you all I can as well. Still, my offer stands. Within a week, there shall be a ship here to pick me up. I have already contacted my people, and with what is going to happen, no doubt, they think a firmer ambassador is needed here. And she actually looks a little annoyed by this. So, if you wish to come to my lovely estate and see the wonders of your home country, and of course your fellows are welcome. And please, you may join me on my journey home, or any time after.
I will certainly broach the topic with the rest of them, concerning that Karak has this Morgani visions and things. I suppose that's an interest to him as well.
Yes. I have another recommendation.
And that is?
The man replacing me is not quite as pleasant as I. I would keep away from this embassy once I am gone.
Has a reputation, does he?
Yes.
Or her?
No, he has a reputation. No slander and false words, I'm sure, though. I would not speak ill of my fellow ambassador.
Is this more concerning with just the general populace or someone like me?
She presses her lips a bit and does not respond on that.
Or someone like Cassie or Gifton.
Mm-hmm.
Are you done, Mr. Musk?
I think he's still AFK. He went bio.
It's just taking him quite some time.
He is very particular about his penmanship, and you've
He's worried
given
about
him
that
a
ink
new
running out.
instrument to write with. So I'm sure he is having fanatical difficulties with it.
Oh, yeah. One moment. Yeah. And she actually moves over to a cabinet, opens up one of the drawers on the sort of lower body of it, and pulls something out and brings it over to you, Corvus. And she holds out what looks to be like a small, very polished metallic sphere.
What is this?
It is one of our newer sending stones. If you have need of contacting me, and I trust you won't abuse this, I would very much like to hear more of Mr. Musk's visions if they develop.
Certainly.
And in turn, if I hear anything of the priests, I will contact you.
Would you also do us a kind and see if there's any information about my brother?
I will tell you what I can.
That is actually pretty good considering.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will certainly be happy to facilitate this.
Good. Make sure you do not misplace that.
I will not.
You can return it to me when you finally visit.
Since I missed it, what did we get?
Sending stone. A
It's
very
a-
shiny metallic sending stone.
God, more
Yeah,
shit.
very cool, shiny shiny.
A better sending stone.
We're gonna have like.
See,
4
it's not only a
years party
sending
in the
stone,
end.
it's also a spy device.
Yeah.
If you turn it around, there's an eyeball engraved on it.
Corvus looks over it.
On the back side of it, because it's not sphere is the wrong word. It's more the sort of flat, smooth, polished pebble style of thing.
Yeah.
But on the back side of it is just an engraving of the Hexenreich dragon.
Like a skipping stone.
Because sending stones actually do all have engravings on them.
Yep.
Yeah, they have like mouths and eyes or ears on them.
Well, the unique
They-
symbol that is only shared by the other half of.
Yeah. They usually have these symbols on
And
them
in
that
fact,
they're
give
matched to.
give me an investigation check as you're looking it over. Turning it over, you can see an ever so slight, more of a suggestion of a seam along its edging, and it feels somewhat hollow.
No, it's battery power. We're gonna run out of power on this.
Is that little dragon gonna come out and fly away with the sending
They
message?
make them because each one of them has inside their own little fae.
They have
And when you shake it, it makes them cast sending.
No, see, there's no.
More.
See, they have to keep it alive. So there has to be a hole inside of it someplace so they can breathe.
You can see a little face like sticking its mouth up against the hole, trying to take in air.
Yeah, it's why they recommend that if you're having trouble, make sure you move your hand away from it
Yeah.
because you might be covering the hole.
If it's early in the morning and it's not working, just shake it a bit.
I was gonna say the answer to everything with it is shake it a bit, and they'll make it work. Because they don't have that much respect of, oh yeah, by the way, you might be blocking the breathing hole. No, shake it a bit. That'll.
Yes, unlike most sending stones, Marcus, you don't see any actual arcane symboling on the outside of it.
How does this particular event work?
Oh, you would have to ask the artificers to make them. But as to how to use it, same as any other sending stone. Just it's a little longer in message.
Yell into it at the top of your lungs.
25 words has been immensely inconvenient.
I imagine. The Gifton kind of leaves funny messages at the end of it, so it seems like she can speak more efficiently.
Because she uses it like every day.
Are you done, Mr. Musk?
Finish up the last little bit. Yes.
It's a Twitter.
Oh, God. the Germans invented Twitter this
No,
time.
it's modern. It's modern Twitter. It's extended. Right. And she'll come over and sort of pick up the papers you've written out, looking them over quickly, not quite reading, just sort of taking a quick peruse. Right. Well, if there is nothing else, gentlemen, I have to start seeing for the moving of my things.
Poor lady.
Well, I'm sorry that you have to go, but
Yes, well, it's always pleasant to return home, I suppose.
Since I missed it, was she being kicked out, or was she?
yeah, she's being replaced by a more stern ambassador.
She's being recalled, and they're sending a new one. I think that implies that the country is removing her.
Since basically Barras is probably going into a state of war, they want a hard ass ambassador there to push back.
I'm gonna find out it's.
And like I said before, oh yes, we have never abused the ability to contact someone extremely easily and at any point in time. No, sirree. Looking at Raziel, Grandma, the Shire Reeve.
The Capays.
My parents get called every day.
You're a good daughter, Gifted.
Might be another one at sometimes.
Sometimes
Point is, we shouldn't be trusted with communication devices.
And yet I keep giving them to you.
Well, the thing
What
is,
am I doing?
We keep running into NPCs that don't know us very well.
And that like us.
I one of these days we're gonna have somebody getting introduced to us from Raziel or somebody, and it'll be like, oh hey, let me give you the sending stone so I can get a hold of you at any time. Just Raziel just suddenly leaps in front. You don't want this. You
Smacks it away from that. No, don't give them that. They have too many.
You know not what you ask.
Yeah, sorry.
Is there anything else, gentlemen?
I don't believe so, ma'am.
In that case, let me see you out.
Thank you.
And she will walk you to her front door. And
if we do not see you by the week, safe travels on your journey home.
yes, indeed. And I do hope you join me, though. It need not be for long, of course. I can arrange passage for you back at any time.
Thank you.
And she sort of smiles and gives you a little nod as she opens up the door.
Head on out.
Yes, Carrick, if this does progress further, it may be wise for maybe some of us or all of us to go to Hexenreich at some point.
Yeah, maybe.
She did.
Gentlemen?
Yes.
Your nephew's name. What was it? And your brother?
He said his brother's name. Lewis.
She's asking again.
Lewis, mein brother, and
Forge hammer.
You can roll a wisdom or something. If
Are you trying to know about
Insight.
Albrecht's name, or are you trying?
No, I know Albrecht's name. I don't want to give her Albrecht's name.
Trying to come up with the perfect lie.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
Say,
Come up with a false name, or are you trying to? What are you trying to do?
He will
mumble
try.
it in.
He will try to come up with a false name. Yeah.
You could just say, "And my nephew is protected."
that would probably be the wiser route. Of just that doesn't.
Just that way, you're not lying to her, and you're just saying, "I'm keeping a safe eye on."
Yeah, that's a better idea. Yeah, I like that. My nephew is protected. Thank you.
Okay, good day, gentlemen. And you hear her closing the door.
It's one of those things. If you don't know if you can trust her, but I mean,
Yeah.
this is the start of something. You can think about it later. Having the baby's name isn't really going to help her, probably.
But he's not a baby.
I mean, that he was a baby when Daddy got taken away. Basically, he was like little kid.
Say he's old enough to talk now.
What is he? It was like
Allie talks all the time.
Yeah.
I was avoid not going to say that because I
Yeah.
already
Yeah,
had
okay.
it.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, giving the DM some
Right.
inspiration. Use this later.
I would like to say I was uninvolved in this.
Noted.
Please
Anyway,
keep that on the record.
getting back to this. Yes, this is. I'm guessing if you have any more of those visions, we need to contact Lady Bronzewitz.
Yes.
And he'll stow it in his inside pocket of his jacket.
Okay. Now, where are you guys going?
Back to
Rejoin
Noran
us.
Embassy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, those two are in there. You have most of your conversation outside the Noran Embassy, but a little more time passes before they come back. There are occasionally people filtering through here that really don't look like they belong. Far too common clothes. Looking at the Noran Embassy and then seeing the heavy guard presence, they move on.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, there's not like a big crowd there, so they don't feel like they're joining something.
yes, exactly.
It's hard to be the start.
It's very hard to be the start. But eventually, Carrick and Corvus return.
I waved to them. Any luck?
Half, I suppose.
I gave her what I know so far because she has not heard anything yet. So.
Hell, we haven't heard any word yet if they want us to leave or stay, so we're just kind of watching. It looks like they have it fairly well in hand, though. But hard to say.
One thing that we did learn from Bronzewitz that she is quite adamant about my return to Hexenreich to visit her estate. And with Carex saying with the Morganis, she even approached that as a possible reason to go there.
I hate to say it, she's not wrong for Carrick's thing. I can totally understand her motivation there. I'm just worried about her motivation with you.
Yes, she even did that while we were having that dance. She was quite pointed to bring up the suggestion of whom do I consider you all? Like, to just go now and leave you. But she is leaving in a week, so she has offered to have us passage there with her on her boat.
That's a very generous offer.
Yes, with nothing attached to it. That's equally as concerning as just the constant amount of come to Hexenreich. So, if we do not go, she did leave us with some advice not to go to the embassy, as she is being replaced by someone with a little more sterner attitude towards individuals and possibly a little nefarious behaviors. But those are all rumors.
Well, at least she's given us that, so I'd consider her offer thoroughly if I was you. We don't have any allies in Hexenreich.
Yes. We have.
I understand you have your reason to go to Hexenreich, and I have always supported you, but I think perhaps it is a very limited view of the bigger picture of what's going on. I don't think you need just that man. I think you need to know why.
I am coming to quick understandings that there are probably more strings attached to him since they are with just directly affecting my family as he did.
Yes, and I would think And she's going to gently put a hand on your shoulder, knowing you don't like tactile comfort. And she's going to give you a smile. I think your brother Lewis is worth more than that man's life.
At this point, that man is not going to die. Not anymore.
No, I think he was just doing somebody else's dirty work. There's a lot more going on. Wouldn't be surprised if it was another gentleman deal.
I highly doubt that.
It's hard to say.
Please, no more walking through there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna kind of glance over at the guards and kind of be like, should we go?
The guard looks a little hesitant, and you see him actually pull out what looks like to be something very similar to your little walkie-talkie.
Oh, God.
And you hear him sort of talking to somebody trying to get an ETA on the arrival of more guards.
We were waiting to see if we had permission to stay.
Oh yeah, that's not happened yet, has it? Yeah.
I never got permission to stay.
Well,
in fact,
indirectly we have. We've been here
in
this
fact,
whole time.
All right, so I'm assuming we got permission.
Well, yes, while you were waiting for Carrick and
angel and a
Corvus,
centaur just loitering in front of the
while you were
gate.
waiting for Carrick and Corvus, you did see one of the Noran guards return to speak to one of the Barras guards.
Give a nod.
Who came over to you and said, the ambassador would very much appreciate your presence here.
Okay, so we will stand guard until then. I'm not pressuring them for when we have to leave. So I would
about half an hour after Carrick and Corvus return, you see about 10 more guards actually arrive, and at least 5 of them are carrying rifles, the rest sword and shield, and they start taking up post.
Where did Talda go off? He said he had a woman to
He was flirting
talk
with a
to.
bard at the party. It was kind of adorable. They ran off together for a little bit. I don't know what happened.
Corvus is kind of just staring blankly.
It looks like they're ready for us to clear out as well.
And you actually get a sort of just a nod and a wave from the guard you've been talking to.
I will give a deep curtsy and loop an arm around Carrick and motion for Carrick and Corvus and Cassie to follow. And then I'm going to look at Cassie and Carrick and go, it sounds like our dear doctor might have somebody at the library that he needs a message delivered to. And I don't think either of you are banned.
I'm not quite sure about that.
Cass puts her hand out.
For me, I mean, I was there when the whole thing happened.
Yes, Cassie?
So I don't know if
I'll take it.
No, it's a verbal message for
what is it?
Lord Grayson.
Grayson? Lord Grayson.
Lord Grayson.
Lord Grayson.
Lord Grayson.
Lord Grayson. If Lord Grayson, if he could contact Dr. Adderless at the
Hounded Hydra.
Hounded Hydra, but be careful about it. Do not say Dr. Adderlass in front of a big group of noblemen. It is a very sensitive matter. He has a pregnant girl by him that he does not need the whole entire town knowing about. So the last thing they need to know is he's secretly meeting with a doctor. All right, Cassie? So you need to talk to him quietly to the side.
I have raiding utensils with me.
Cassie walks into the library. Hey,
yes, right. Can you write a quick?
Cass is already trotting off.
Cassie, come back here.
Cass is just going.
All right, I'm using vines on you. All right,
Sleepy time arrow in the haunch.
No.
It'll kill her.
Someone dies.
Which is it? Nature's Wrath? I think it's Nature's Wrath. Yeah, Nature's Wrath.
You have it twice.
Flap. Vines up around you really quick. You could probably easily break through them, but I'm trying to stop you.
Test strength or dex saving throw.
Strength.
Go for it.
Right.
What's his DC, Gifton?
15.
Oh, Cass,
got you.
You are halted in your tracks by these spectral vines wrapping around your legs.
I'm
Hold up. We're writing a letter and you're going to take it.
gonna find a surface and write out the.
Also, I'm surprised that worked.
I am sure she let you do that.
I'm pretty sure she did. You let me do that, didn't you, Cass?
Right up.
Cass just has this nonplussed look on her face.
Write up the message, fold it over a couple times, and hand it to
Cassiopeia.
Cassiopeia. I would say Corvus.
Yep. All right. We'll let Cassiopeia go to the library. Have a good time. Don't make too much of a mess. I'll get the boys home. We'll see you back at the Hound and the Hydra, Cassie.
Okay, and
I'll let the vines go, of course.
as Cass goes, she starts rifling through her bag, just muttering loud enough for Gifton to hear. So where'd I put the torch?
There's so many regrets.
So many reasons because my brain.
I am going to lightly talk to Carrick and Corvus about another matter with Care there. There's a certain captain in the bay right now, and it occurs to me that that is related to a matter that might be very dear to you, Corvus. Do you remember the eye he has? The black one. It looks very much like your Azoth eyes. And he could see things when I visited him the other day. He might be another person you can talk to about that. Captain Denoran.
Yeah, wasn't his eyes though? There was still like pupil and iris. It was just black in color, or was it like?
No, there was one solid black one, and black. I thought it was yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so if he has an Azoth eye in, you might be able to talk to somebody a little bit more candidly about, do they have any regrets and do they have any issues with it? Because we don't really know how we feel about Lady Gentle, and I know you don't trust General Rizal so much, but it's a third party. It's somebody else to talk to. He might not have a horse in this game, and he only has one of them, so...
Just wondering where his allegiance stands. He does work for Rizal, but
he does
indeed has one of those, which means he probably has some sort of favor with them.
And he also has a great distaste for the gentleman. I feel like there's a connection there that it would be interesting to know his story.
And it is a development since everything has happened thus far, so yes.
Yes, but I'm trying to be a good friend and help you how I can, okay?
I just didn't know he was even in here, so...
And maybe he can
I spoke to him.
not take... Wait, do we know about the blood thing? I can't remember.
Yeah.
I spoke to him yesterday after I spoke with some people and went to go mail things. He was at the docks. He's supposed to be here for a week, he said. So
he may be the travel.
He might.
To Hexenreich.
He said he was heading north.
And north is a lot of places.
It is a lot of places. That's why I didn't use him for mailing all my stuff. It's all going south. All right, and then I'll just walk everybody back. I just wanted to get that in there.
Maybe he'd have a different way other than trying to, bleed me.
Oh, gee.
I mean, it's very simple, really. I will leave it at that.
Aji, you have been, staying out with Klopp or brushing him while sad violin music plays. You see Telday starting to return down the street. Is it you were heading back to the Hound and Hydra, right, Telday? Oh, no.
Yes, I was.
Yes. Okay, good.
Also, Kronos was acknowledging. I'm not sure if it was coming through for you.
Ah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, yeah, you see Telday returning.
Do you finish up your business with your lady friend?
I've been informed that she is safe. That is as much as was needed.
That's good. I think they're still over at the diplomat's place if you want to go help them.
I have been asked if I would be willing to help calm the crowds if possible. Can you assist with accompaniment?
I can try. I'm not that good at it.
Hey, Robo.
we may wish to try and dissuade crowds from becoming riotous. There is quite a large grouping outside of the palace.
Let me just get my things. And Archie's going to go up and actually get her gear on because she still wasn't wearing it.
Also going to go and grab my gear.
Okay. Right,
It's not a euphemism.
You're grabbing your gear, grabbing instrument, I imagine.
Yes, I'm making sure to grab that. Yes.
Okay. Right, you get geared on up. Any particular place you want to head to once you're geared up?
I'm going to make sure to meet RG downstairs, and then I'm going to head toward the palace playing music, however.
Okay. Oh boy, what's the tone of the music you're playing?
I'm trying to go with a calm, sobering song.
Good choice.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Go ahead and give me a performance check. RG, do you wish to accompany the music, or are you just going to stick with him?
I'll try and accompany the music, so I'll give him advantage on it.
Yeah.
All right. Turn that. Ooh, I still had disadvantage turned on. That would have been bad. Sorry, which kind of performance check is that? That's charisma?
Yes. Alright, very nice. Fucking hurdy-gurdy, mournful music. Actually pretty good for it.
Sadly, it is the only instrument I have because I sold all of the other ones that you get.
Alright, you start playing your instrument as you start heading towards the palace itself, and it does get attention as you're going down the streets. People do stop and start listening, quelling some of the chatter that's going on. And go ahead and both of you give me an insight check. Be it whether it's just because it's weirdly distracting, or whether the tone is matching the mood and giving it a bit of focus instead. This does seem to be helping a bit. People seem less agitated, and as you actually go into the palace grounds, instead, the sort of back parts of that big crowd gathering turn their attention towards you. And, you see people starting to talk amongst themselves about this new site. And you actually do start to draw part of that crowd away. And get a bit of a gathering in front of yourselves instead.
Good. Now, if only I were a flautist, I could get them to all leave town. Oh, wait.
No.
I swear I'm not calling the peasants rats. Yeah, sadly, I don't know that. Yeah, I didn't come from this city, so I don't know this city terribly well.
No.
Do I know what this area is?
It's a large market square.
That might be a bad idea then. Okay. I am going to... Geez, yeah. I guess I'm just going to try and pull them away. Maybe head back toward the inn.
Okay. So you yeah. Okay, so as you start to head away, you see a few people who start to trail, but most of that crowd doesn't seem interested in leaving this area. Pursue you.
Pied Piper.
I was trying to peel more people away rather than just distract, but if that's not going to work, then I will move in closer again and actually...
Which, go ahead and give me an intelligence check.
That will work for me.
Which you can as well,
Totally.
RG.
check. There it is.
Oh boy, here I go intelligencing again.
Whew.
RG, her music good. Telday, it occurs to you, like, they're not following the music itself. It's just a musician walking away while playing. Maybe if they thought something was actually going to be happening there.
Battle of
Like,
band.
a reason more than just follow the sound.
I think we might want some. I'm gonna try and keep playing and like lean over to RG and be like, I think we might need something a little more to draw them over.
They're playing Everyone Was Kung Fu Fighting.
And
Pretty sure that RG can deal with that.
at this point,
Is the bar open?
the embassy group, you going back the way you came?
That'll be up to Gifton, really.
Boss.
Gifton?
This is where we found out that Gifton did a super secret sneak away.
Sammy?
No, I've been muted on 2 things because I muted on the microphone and the other things. I started talking and no one heard me. I'm good. All right, sorry. What?
Are you heading back the way you came?
Oh yeah, we're taking the we're not taking the route by the library. We're taking the quicker route back.
In that case, you will actually hear Telday's music before you see him, but you will see Telday with this sort of small gathering around him. That seems to be distracting people away from the palace gates.
Accompaniment.
They're going to do
Can
accompaniment.
you actually say that?
Yeah, I'm gonna say accompaniment, and I'm gonna look at you to get your instrument out.
Do I
can we-
have mine with me is the question.
You
Is
got
it-
all your stuff because we did get our stuff
Yeah,
when
no,
we were back
I
there.
don't actually think I carry mine usually is the problem.
It's not in your bag of holding.
No, it actually sits back. I do not carry it with me. So we have to just sing. I'll just use a performance check.
All right. You know what? Fuck it. I'll burn my I'll burn my hard-earned thing.
Okay.
Here, we get advantage.
All right. Go ahead and give me a roll as well.
I will start
Character you
joining
want
in
to
with
join
him from across the way.
Wow.
Fuck you, Carrot.
Hey, you've got one other person you could maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna like wrap an arm around Care, and I'm gonna use thaumaturgy to make make it louder.
All right.
But I am using thaumaturgy to make this loud and project.
Care is going to try and join in. Boop. 15.
Hey, that's passable.
Yeah, he's
That's
average.
good. That's
Okay.
really good. That's better than average. 10's average. He's doing great.
No, look, he rolled with a +5. He rolled average.
Oh, he did. Shit. Yeah.
But no,
That's
he
average.
sings competently along with you.
Yeah.
Telday, you can hear
Yeah,
the lovely voice of Gifton and the right angelic voice of Carrick Mask approaching you, and Care's there as well.
So yeah, I'm using thaumaturgy to boom this up a bit.
Okay, and this does draw far more attention as well. And you can make your way over to Telday, who seems like he may have a plan brewing. Maybe.
In fact, I'm going to take slightly to the air for this while I'm singing. I'll sing my way over, so I'll make it a good spectacle as I go.
Man,
not high, but probably like 10 feet above the crowd.
Okay, good. You're not going too high into the
No,
air
I'm
when
not
they're
going, I'm
worried
not
about
going high. I'm
aerial
just going
assaults.
about.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going up.
Right.
I'm
Thankfully,
just
Flying.
you're not
Seriously,
going. You're not going a threateningly distance into the air, and the palace guards are kind of aware of your group.
Yeah,
So,
I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna sing my way over.
Right. And this gets
Singing
a
wing.
lot of stairs. This near angelic figure.
Oh god, I almost had
Yeah.
a horrible idea.
Taking
of
for the
using
air.
prestidigitation.
Hmm?
Prestidigitation would be a horrible plan.
And
Oh no, we're under attack.
there's look, Telday, accompaniment.
Ah, wonderful. I think now would be a good time to move them somewhere. The inn a good idea.
Maybe not our inn, but a different inn.
I don't know of any others. Still playing as
Yep.
fastidiously as
I'm
possible.
just gonna shrug and still keep my own.
Is RG actually doing stuff, or is RG just there? I can't remember.
She's basically assisting him. I assume she's kind of Singing.
Hey guys, let's go to the Temple of Aurora. That's never gone wrong.
Archie, you could totally clap your hands in a steady rhythm to be the drummer.
Yeah.
No, that's only more humiliating than what she's probably already
hand
doing.
boning.
Oh God.
That's
we
also
don't have a ham.
what she's currently doing.
We gave her a jug. She's just blowing into it.
No, she's probably quietly playing along on her pan flute, just doing the assist.
Yeah.
I can't. Damn it!
He's not just so I can't bomb the
I'm
fucking
singing,
roll, by the way.
so I can't say it easily.
Hmm?
I was gonna have someone tell one of the non-performers to go ask where a bar is, but I can't singing, so he can't really just start talking. How rude!
Well, if the group comes close enough, I can
does they say it?
Yeah, I'll start moving closer to the group because I don't want to talk loudly. I kind of want to whisper,
Totally
like
condescending.
Yeah.
loud whisper.
You can get
but
into range
try
of each
not
other.
to disrupt the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be like, I think we should move them somewhere, but the only place I know is the inn.
I will pause singing for a moment and go. It's really easy to find a lot of inns. They've been everywhere. So
There is quite a few inns in the
You
square
spotted other
market.
inns.
yeah, I'm
Maybe
going.
you just spoke in the crowd and suggested now would be a good time to go to an inn.
I'm going to thaumaturgy 3 times. I'm going to lift up the air a little bit and go. We're going to continue to wait vigil at the nearest inn. I will buy a round of drinks for everyone who comes with.
Good, use that adventuring money. All right.
Yep.
Okay. You're already getting a lot of curious stares because this is quite the spectacle, and there have been stories going about from the event and so on, and there seems to be a sort of look of, well, not recognition as in they've seen it themselves, but they've heard of the winged one. They've heard of the strange
Knight.
armored golden knight, and there seems to be a look of recognition towards your group. And like the simple-minded NPCs they are, they do start to follow along as you move.
Because they do like free
They
alcohol.
like free alcohol. It's a good way to drown your sorrows and your worries.
Is there a religion that's against drinking alcohol? Just as curiosity.
No.
Okay, I was just saying because I was expecting in the corner but so and so tells us not to drink.
So and so's not here right now.
No.
Shut up.
Let's see. Miris writes that it's a good way to get lips loosened. Others write that it's a good way to celebrate victories in war.
I'm probably pretty sure Morgani probably doesn't have anything specific about it.
Morgani has
Morgani-
recipes on how to make very good enchanted ale.
Well, okay.
Myri says
Fire-breathing ale.
don't do it while you're pregnant.
Myri says, "Do
That's
it
nice,
to
Captain.
court."
Yes.
All right, so I will keep a little bit above in the air while we're moving, and then I'll start singing again with all day.
Okay.
I'm
we start
just
moving.
going to go back to the inn.
I'm gonna give Corvus that nodded look of that's what you're doing.
It would be very helpful if we could try and disperse any other crowds.
Okay. All right. The Eurovision Song Contest group heads towards the. You're going towards one of the big squares where there's a few inns.
Yeah, with a few ends,
Yeah.
and
You can
I
choose
am
this
going
one
to.
or this one.
These were not K-pop.
I prefer the one closer to where we stay.
Okay.
It's also
So
closer
this
to the thing. No, this one here.
No,
But
the big one.
But when we get there, I'm going to take out my coin purse and talk with Kara and say, okay, 5 plat to each inn.
Yeah, that should cover stuff.
Yep, and then rounds on us.
All right. I'll tell them to
then,
just
we'll-
start bringing
we'll-
drinks out. Yeah.
Yeah, start bringing drinks out, and we'll sing out here, and we'll do some performances for a while.
All right. You Care sort of runs off with the money, being a good boy.
He's the best boy.
And
Sam's gonna lose 20 plat just now.
Yeah, it takes him a little bit, but you continue your performance, and soon enough you see the inn starting to come start streaming out with their waiters carrying large trays of just mugs, alcohol. And as I said earlier with the celebration, there were tables and such set out in the streets, sort of ready for the general celebration, which are now being repurposed as basically a great big bar.
On the plus side, I have a decanter of endless water still with me.
And I think
it should be a while.
You guys have inadvertently created the world's first open air concert here.
Yeah. But we're playing mostly somber music. We're being respectful. See, probably some more hymns in here getting mixed in.
And you can do this. How long are you going to do this for?
All night long.
You're gonna spend the day doing this?
I'll spend the rest of my day doing this if everybody else does.
Actually, I'm going to occasionally,
you can take
3
breaks
times over the night, in an attempt to kind of diminish the crowd and slowly disperse people. I will cast Calm Emotions myself.
Good plan. Good plan. Okay.
So occasionally just cut down on the crowd, send people home every once in a while, probably end of a set.
Okay. So you do that. Throughout the night, you have a bit of focus on the music, but every now and then you realise, okay, crowd needs a little bit of a pickup so this doesn't turn into just morose bitterness. Lift spirits as much as keep people calm.
I want to play Under Pressure at least once.
Yep. And you are not the only ones playing instruments now. As the day goes on, you see people heading into homes, some very amateurishly playing little fiddles and so on, but this starts to spread through the city a bit.
At some point, I'm going to go get my...
we are the picture of competency on this.
Yeah.
I'm going to go get my lyre at some point.
If there's anybody nearby, I'll urge them up there with us. And,
okay.
And
you get your breaks by putting other civilians on.
Yeah.
Basically using one of these larger tables as a stage.
Yeah. But basically, I'll be the first person to be like, hey, do you want to join us up here? You can join us up here. You're welcome. And it's not like this is the star stage.
No, don't say that phrase. You're welcome.
And
you're welcome.
At one point, maybe a couple of hours in, a few rather drunken guys get up to sort of do their own performance. And a bit into the song, I want you all to roll me a history check as it starts. I'm going to give Gifton disadvantage. I'm sorry.
Oh, not bad. Good.
It's probably about Faye hating sons of bitches. I don't know this shit. I really don't know this shit, guys.
That was a dichotomous roll.
That is an extreme dichotomous roll.
Yeah.
I rolled a 20 and a 1.
Right.
Everybody else is rolling 10s.
Yeah, unfortunately, you all realise a bit too late. You do not catch up what the lyrics are at the beginning. But it is an old war anti-Noran song.
Oh, shit.
As soon as it starts getting anti-Noran, we'll just be kind of like, no.
You're going to stop them?
Yep.
All right. How are you going about that?
Back.
I am going to start using thaumaturgy ×3, and I'm going to play another song louder.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to try to drown them out, and I'm going to look at Telday to join me on that.
Yeah, I will start playing up. Yeah.
All right. I would like you to give me both. First off, I want you to give me a performance check.
All right. I will ask, will the party mind if I take one out of the pool? Because we're at 2 right now.
I'm fine with that.
Toby, are you okay with it?
Wait, aren't you proficient with the tool and performance?
No, I'm proficient with performance. I'm not proficient with the tool. I sing.
Oh.
What was that, Toby?
I said go ahead.
All right. Kronos?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'm also giving
go ahead.
Rain assist if I
I'm
can.
still in it.
Well,
Still-
we don't want another town to implode on us.
I don't need
So
cosplay to
Argy's assisting Telday, so Telday advantage, and Gifton's using a inspiration, so advantage.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, instead someone else could assist Gifton.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Carrick?
Yeah, Carrick, do you want to do your
Okay.
own role, or do you want
I'll
to
just
assist
put
Gifton?
that.
There are different weighings up for this, so it's up to you.
I actually think why don't you have a really good bonus? Why don't I just pull the thing and do it, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, because
I'd rather have the extra force.
Because I haven't.
Fuck yeah!
Okay.
Instrument, so I get advantage on my performance check.
Okay.
Oh, well, I have proficiency with my instrument as well.
Yeah, so you can have an advantage on your performance for free.
So,
So RG, do you just want to roll your own?
Yeah.
No,
But
I have a 3. I do better assisting.
Okay, in that case, you can assist Gifton, and she doesn't have to spend a thing.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So let me take the thing away then.
like that's
Or
the better idea. Is if I forgot that
Return
low.
the thing.
Yeah, I just returned the thing to the pool.
Yeah.
All right, so
Okay.
yep, there we go.
So, you all start to play a song that you make it sound like it's a very similar tune at first, or it doesn't sound like it's just an overt blocking of that one,
Yep.
Then we overtly block it.
and then you overtly block it in a very subtle
Almost
way,
make it seem like, oh, we just, that's the
Which-
song, right?
Which
And
is-
then-
Different song, right?
which while the people playing sort of yell at you a bit, they don't seem to take it in too hard a stead,
Yeah.
and it's more of
We
drunken, jovial, a little annoyed, but light-hearted about it.
We're doing
Yeah.
a song.
And you're able to avert that disaster.
Yeah.
Cassie!
well, what was
Yes.
that disaster? I walked away.
They started singing an anti-Noran song, so we
Oh, it basically we're on Noran's song. We just shut it down.
Cassie,
All right, Cassie. Library time.
you walk to the library away from weird sounds of music starting up near the palace. That's strange. And you go to the library. The crowd in there looks a little different than when you walk by, but you see a few familiar faces, and the doors are still open.
I'm looking for Rich.
Oh, there's most of them in there. That's Rich.
Fuck.
it's a library.
It's the highbrow meeting spot.
Yeah. Only the learned folk can come in here. And the centaur that's about to approach.
Are they milling about in the lobby or are they outside?
No, actually, it's a little mix of both. You see a group gathered in a lobby, and a very exacerbated scribe sitting there watching them. And there's a couple of little groups just sort of standing outside, talking amongst each other. A couple of them looked like they were dressed up for the event.
I'm moving past the crowd and going to the scribe.
And going to the scribe, okay. The scribe watches you approach, and hearing that sound of shod hooves on the floorwork of the library, you see a little scowl on their face.
Cass, the second she starts walking in, is going soft foot and taking it down as much as she can. And she's trying to softly trot over.
He watches you approach.
Hi, I need assistance that you might be able to help me with.
I don't imagine I might be able to assist you with what you need, but go on.
Well, I have a message to deliver, and I need to find a Lord Grayson, but unfortunately no one has described him to me. Do you by chance know if he's here? I heard he was here.
Lord Grayson is... What is this about? We're not at liberty to divulge where our membership is.
She holds the message. I have a message for him, and I can only deliver it to him.
Why not take it to his estate?
Because, as I stated to begin, I'm not from this town, so I don't know where that is either. So I was tracking the last place he had been seen.
Well, I'm afraid I can only take messages for membership from membership.
Well, I wasn't asking to give you the message.
That is a shame then. I suggest you visit his estate.
Okay. Then, second question for you. How much does it cost per day to hire a research team?
We are not a habit of having research teams for just anybody. For our members,
Well-
they can have assistance, depending on the project.
Well, I would inquire about membership, but the way you were giving me a glare, you probably wouldn't want me stepping inside your lovely facility here.
Nor do I imagine you have the coin, my dear.
Oh, I do. And she smiles, but and she leans in. I will find Lord Grayson's estate, and I will make sure every mercenary from here to Wycroft down to the former Tarnstead territory knows that this is the most unwelcoming establishment of education ever, and I will
Good.
suggest against their patronage.
Oh, please do.
Have a nice day.
These are wrong threat to give him.
Yeah.
You're gonna make it so
It just made his day.
It's like, awesome. Thank you so much.
And Cass is actually going to carry out that threat.
You mean promise? You're helping the man.
Oh no, if I can stop all the patronage and
He
stop any
doesn't
coin
want
flowing in,
mercenaries in there. He only wants the rich nobles, and they don't give a fuck what you think. You're doing exactly what he wants. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, he hates adventurers. He doesn't want adventurers in his library.
Yeah, Cass, go ahead and give me an insight check.
all right.
You should have said that you'd tell them all it is a lovely place and they should come there as much as possible.
Exactly.
Shit is dance. I thought that's what you were gonna do.
He actually does seem a little giddy.
Oh, you would like that, wouldn't you?
Quite, my dear. Now,
Oh, then I'll change that around. I'll start suggesting everyone come here. You'll have such a lovely mess. I'm asking for a simple question, and I'll be out of your hair. I have no want to be here.
if you want a message delivered to Lord Grayson, I can make an exception and take it for him when he comes back through.
I cannot hand it to anyone other than him myself.
Like, he keeps not getting.
If you would wait outside, please.
I will. And she steps out.
And you, as you're sort of moving out, you see him standing up, looking rather annoyed, and he heads off in one of the side rooms. And after about 15 minutes waiting outside, a young nobleman walks out and thankfully look for the centaur is a pretty good direction and comes straight up to you. And it's like, you wanted to see me, my lady.
Are you Lord Grayson?
I am.
And she motions away from the crowd.
He follows nervously.
You hired a gentleman earlier. Can you tell me his name?
He pales a bit. I've hired nobody, my lady.
She pulls out the letter. I don't trust the scribe to have brought me the correct person.
Persuasion check.
Oh,
Yes.
did you just uncover something?
No, she's holding the note.
No. You said gentleman.
No.
No.
Oh,
In reference to...
I know, but
I mean, you could be being double-crossed right now, for all you know.
He seems uncertain. Seems nervous. I assure you, I've hired nobody.
I was told it was a very private matter, and as such, I want to ensure privacy. Therefore, I only want this to reach the person it's supposed to go to. Hence why I'm asking a very pointed question. I'm not asking for what happened. I don't know. I don't care. I know the name of the person who gave me the letter and who I was told to deliver it to.
Well,
if you can tell me the first name, the last name, anything.
General
I can
description of the
identify.
man.
General description. What does his hair look like?
What's his accent?
Cass, give me an insight check with advantage. Looking at his expression, looking at his worry, it occurs to you that this man isn't being evasive for, nefarious reasons. He thinks that you have just approached him, has just stated what you know because you are here to blackmail him.
She looks at him. I believe this is yours, and she hands him the letter.
He takes the letter from you, and
she steps back and goes, "You may read it, ensure that it is from who it is, and then I will be off."
He looks at you warily and then very nervously opens up this letter, and you can see his eyes darting over the page as he tries to read it. And then
who sends a picture of a dick by mail?
What is this dick butt?
That should have been so much better.
I did make a page back,
but that's a little too low.
And a look of actual relief sort of crosses his face, and you see him pull out a handkerchief and dab at his brow a bit and goes, I apologize. I thought you were here for different reasons.
I can understand that. I was trying to avoid giving that to someone who may have had those inclinations.
Yes, thank you. And here, he actually pulls out a coin purse and
she just turns around and goes, "Have a nice day," and starts trotting off.
Mr. Adler's payment.
I work with him.
Well, give him my thank yous.
Wait.
Yeah,
she turns around and goes, "Wait, his payment? Okay, never mind. I thought you were trying to pay me. Sorry."
No, I owe him.
You screw Corvus over.
And here, please, and give him my sincerest thank you.
Well, if you want to do that, you can find him down at the Hydra and Hound. But I will pass it along.
Yes, please do.
You have a good day.
And you, Miss
Steelshod.
Miss Steelshod. And he actually gives you a sort of polite bow.
She bows back. And she trots down the
Lord
stairs.
Grayson again, hitting on another woman.
And the relieved young noble sort of turns around and starts heading back towards the library. And as you're moving away, you can sort of hear her going, "Another one, Grayson." Right. And you're going to head back to the Hydra and the Hound?
Actually...
Or are you going to follow the loud music now? Like, there seems to be quite the ruckus going on from one of the squares.
Cass is going to avoid that and head for the blacksmith shop.
Oh, yes, you remembered that you got to pick up your sword.
Well, soon, but
Yeah,
she
I
wants
think
to check
tomorrow?
in. Yeah.
Right, you head over towards the smithy, and
Day after tomorrow, it's still the prince's birthday.
it's true. And
But
you
still, want to make sure he's okay, and just in case it's finished early.
you head on over to the smithy, and you actually hear the sort of loud clanging of work being done as you approach, and you see him outside his shop, working on an anvil out in the air, because fuck me, that gets hot inside.
Mm-hmm.
And he pauses briefly mid-swing as you approach and gives you a nod before continuing his work.
And Cass will patiently wait off to the side.
And after he quenches the blade, he pauses briefly and looks over to you and I'm afraid not quite done yet. But just come to check on up.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure everything was okay and that the work was coming along all right.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to hurry along a bit. I'm expecting a big commission soon if things are turning out as they are supposed to. You mean they're in the rumours?
What rumors would those be?
war's a brewing. Orin's just attacked us.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, I hope so. It'll get me a lot of work.
Well, we'll see what happens, but tomorrow or the next day.
You come back tomorrow morning and it should be all done for you.
All right, thank you.
I've got a little question to ask you, though.
Yes?
You ever find a blade like that again? I'll pay a high price for it.
Yeah, high price for that, stranger.
If I see one and I get a hold of it, I'll consider it, but considering how hard those things are to come by...
You just need to go kill a really high-level Goliath again.
Yeah, that one took quite a bit of doing to get a hold of.
Well, it's been a right bastard to work, but I really would pay to get my hands on more, so you keep me in mind.
Well, if I find another Goliath who's sacking a city, I'll try and grab it for you.
A Goliath?
Yeah, he was riding a manticore.
Ain't no way a Goliath went this kind of metal. As you know, what they get their hands on, I wouldn't be surprised if it was someone else.
Well, the thing is I think the blade was damaged because they tried to work it.
Yeah, makes you... There's no surprise, clumsy oafs.
But he won't be doing that anymore, neither will his Wyvern or his Manticore.
Yeah, he looks...
playing your own story there.
He nods a little bit, as if I've heard adventurers boasting before. Oh, you keep me in mind then, alright? I'll see you tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Alright, thank you.
And he resumes his work.
And Cass is going to trot off back towards the Hydra and Hound.
Okay. Alright, when you get back to the Hydra and the Hound, no one's there. Well, I mean, Sigrid and Corvus is. Are you upstairs in your...
No, he'd probably be having a meal or something.
Oh, you're actually just sitting there eating? Okay, you come on in, and there's Corvus sitting having some, dinner.
Cass is going to underhand toss the bag to him.
No, what? Did you find Lord Grayson?
Oh, yeah. I hate the scribe that's at the library.
Oh, yeah. He can just rot for all I care.
Oh, yeah. The scribe kept trying to get the note from me.
He didn't give you a hard time, did he?
The scribe did.
Yeah.
I say we tell every adventurer in the world that they need to come visit the library.
Yeah. That actually would be nice. No, that wouldn't be nice. No.
What was that?
No,
the knowledge.
I understand your reasoning, but I still do like the place for what it has in it. I don't want to see it brought to ruin.
Ah, you're a snob too. Got it.
And then Cass is going to approach him and go, then I think you need to tell your friend who was here earlier that she needs to get rid of the scribe. Or at least put him back in the stacks.
Yeah, that probably would be good for him. Thank you very much, Cass.
Mm-hmm.
And then they linger, their eyes tracing over each other.
Gifted.
And then Cass is going to the bar.
This magic moment.
Corvus will see what's in the bag at least.
There are roughly 50 gold pieces and 20 platinum pieces.
Wow. Okay.
Jesus.
Well, I made up my money. So I gave them 50 gold.
Money, money, money.
20 platinum. Jeez.
Right. Cass, you're able to get a drink. Sigrid actually seems fairly upset, and every now and then you see Yargrim sort of squeezing her shoulder. But she's trying to keep herself composed, you know, good dwarf attitude.
Cass is just keeping calm.
Right, into the evening, the rest of the party can actually return. You feel like this party that you've started, if that's the right word for it, has taken a life of its own.
It can survive.
And music lives, baby, so you feel comfortable actually getting some rest and getting home.
Okay. If we're all at the tavern, are we all at the tavern?
You want to head back to 7?
Yeah. Corvus will be upstairs at this point. Yeah.
Cass has actually pulled out the parchment that she carries around for blueprinting, and she's actually drawing a building right now.
I know you're all very busy, and you have a lot going on. I think we need to sit down and have a long talk about where we're all heading sometime soon.
Cass looks up. I have a goal.
That's good. I want you to have a goal.
Destroy the library by building a bigger one, a better one. I'm going to put that stupid scribe out of work.
Now, how do you build books?
I've got all the wood I can.
There's actually a little note in the corner going, how build books.
No, I like it's just books question marks all around it. Where'd they come from?
They're just books and arrows pointing at different things, including one of them.
I'm just gonna walk over and put a hand lightly on Cassiopeia's shoulder. I was kind of hoping you'd build the city, but if you need to build the library, you build the biggest, damnedest, best library in the whole wide world.
Cass kind of looks up, goes, wait, what? You want me to build a city?
Yeah. You haven't been paying attention at all when I talk, do you?
Are you referring to the rebuild?
Cass actually goes,
Cass is already looking off to the side, distracted.
Really tiny voice.
You're gonna need to have, a moment to think of how you're gonna want to lay out the buildings, how big they're gonna be, how much spacing.
Where?
You're gonna be the city for the Warforge. We're gonna be going south. Remember?
Are you referring to your proposal to rebuild over Tarnstead?
Yeah. Well, down that way. It'll be down near Tarnstead, Cassie. Wasn't there any place down there you think that would be nice? The High General said we could have any spot we want down there. Build a city for the Warforge.
Cass actually stops. I would like to make an intelligence roll, possible, to see if Cass remembers an area in that area.
Nature roll,
that would
please.
Be more suitable for
nature.
Nature roll, please.
Survival.
Nature.
Nature
is a skill.
Nature.
It's an int check.
It's probably still in check technically for her.
Oh, 15.
15.
Okay. You can think of a couple of areas that are decent enough to build in.
You would probably not need things like food or water, just probably an occupational area.
We are going to need things like food and water, and the place needs to actually be able to support other people than just Warforged. Those Warforged aren't going to want to spend eternity down in that. They're going to need to have
map.
Is it on the offer map?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Okay.
It's going to need to be its own city that people can come in and out of. Those Warforged are going to go all over the world by the time this is done. This is just short term, someplace for them to be.
When did the ship get put on?
Ship.
The ship's just okay.
That's been there for a long time.
Yeah, we rode that ship.
We just haven't really been on this map in a while.
Yeah.
Cass is actually tapping the page. There's actually a couple good places to build.
Okay.
Just to the, if I remember correctly, just to the south, there was a tiny little offspoke of a river, not very deep, more like a creek.
There you go, Cass.
That led into a bigger river that goes down into barbarian territory, but I think it reaches the ocean.
We'll be clearing that out as much as we can, but we can look at that more. I just want you to start thinking about it, okay? And start thinking about what kind of buildings that would be good and things like that.
Civ 6 city planning.
Remember, spread out 3 to 6 axes wide.
Oh. Gifton's gonna look over at Telday and go, I feel like I have a lot of things to explain to you. Do you want to do that tonight, or are you all right?
It is up to you. I am perfectly willing to stay and listen to whatever explanations you must make. I do have a general knowledge of science, if that is what you're attempting to explain.
No, I'm trying to explain more recent history of this group.
Oh, I see.
Why would
Well, I
you
believe
assume
that
I'm
you
attempting
most
to explain
recently
science?
went around the
Gifton's gonna give just Telday just this defeated look.
Apologies. It appears that I have angered you.
I'm not angered. I'm just never sure how to talk to you. I'm sorry. I
You
don't
have
know how
been
to
doing an
communicate.
excellent job so far.
You have used many words.
Your talking programming is well efficient.
You may have used 1 million.
All right. Well, I have a lot of terrible things to go talk to you about. Why don't you come to me in Kara's room tonight instead of sitting in the hallway?
What?
Are you
What?
sure your husband is fine with that?
He's not sleeping in there, is he?
He doesn't sleep, sweetie. We're gonna be up all night talking.
Yay.
Would you like to
Sorry.
take the place where I normally rest at night?
No, I think I'll be good. And yeah, she just gives you an amused look, Gifton, and nudges you with his elbow.
Well, I could give him the ring again if that makes you more comfortable.
Oh no.
Well, if you want, I could stand in the hallway with him and I could just whisper to him all night.
I think no, that'd be really creepy. Let's just have a nice talk in there.
Okay, all right. So,
Stay down here.
no, not with what we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go, and I was hoping maybe tomorrow night, after everybody's done all their things they do during the day, we should have a meeting to discuss everything. And I'm gonna kind of look over at RG and go, I don't think any one of us is capable or should assign who the leadership is as any one of us. We all knew Thaldir was the leader because we just knew it. And I do believe RG was the leader. But it doesn't mean we're an easy group to lead. It doesn't mean that even when somebody is our leader and we believe in them, that we tell them everything that's going on. We are not easy to work with. And that is no one's fault. And that is no one's failing. But I think we should have a meeting, the group of us, tomorrow night, and we should discuss this. Because I don't know if I am the leader, and I don't know if you want me to be. If you want me to be, I will fight hard to make it something that I'm doing till the day I die. But if there is somebody here who thinks they can do it and step up, I would gladly hand it off, and I would follow you. I trust and love each of you. And then she's going to motion for Telday to follow.
Telday will stop and salute before departing from the table, I guess.
Who are you saluting? The table?
Yeah, I'm just going to face everyone.
Good table. I love you, table.
Okay.
Hmm?
All right.
And then I'm not going to roleplay this out, but I am willing to tell Telday everything that's happened from Tarnstead to now, from Gifton's perspective.
Mm.
So looking up a lot.
I looked up to everybody.
Until you got Dingus. Then you started looking down at people.
I just don't want to take up the entirety of the next several games trying to do a recap to Telday.
Yes. Now, I feel it's important to get Telday's reaction. What's your general feeling, Telday, to all of this? Are there any things in particular you think you would bring up?
I will ask for details about the attackers, I will ask for some details regarding what was happening in the attack at Southwestheim.
Mm-hmm.
I may ask for the motivation of the various antagonists that we've dealt with over this time.
Mm-hmm.
Which
And,
I understand the answer may likely be, but
well, to me, I think honestly, part of it for the barbarian tribe is the leader is Scrim, basically trying to assert himself as the dominant leader of his tribes, proving that he can take things and hold things, and also do it in the name of Heya. So, but it sounds like Heya didn't actually want him to do a lot of the shit he was doing.
I will also note that it appears that there is a schism within the Goliath group, and that could be useful at some point.
And I will agree, and I will say that's
contact with that one guy.
Yeah, and I will say that is a priority. If I would love to be able to reach that guy, but it's a shame that Telday can't message people he doesn't know. Damn it. And at the time, we didn't have a bunch of sending stones to hand around. That's why I bought spares, and I show him my spares because I've learned lessons.
Never again.
But yeah, I will catch you up on everything, including my part into what happened with the prince at the prince's party.
So you had an idea that there may be an attack coming.
I had an idea something was going to happen, some side of slight that would tip this over, and that it would lead to war. And I'll be honest, I think this wouldn't have had to happen if the gentleman had still been working with General Roselle.
So General Roselle is behind this attack.
I believe he knew about it. I don't know the depth of which he was involved, but I know he knew about it. And I told you that, he asked me and Carrick if we could find a way to stop having to have a war to do the thing.
I take it, well, he knows that
Yeah.
he actually is, so.
Yeah, he knows General Roselle is an angel, so. And I will say that I sat in there in a meeting and I agreed with Roselle's logic because I couldn't find a way to do it. And I'll tell Tilde the only thing that came to my mind as a way to circumvent what had to be done today, not knowing the circumstances of what today meant, was if I could have gotten Roselle to abandon the idea to kill the gods. And he told me he would not consider that until I proved I could survive 2 days from now. Because I'm slated to die.
Has anyone attempted to investigate further about this plan?
Which plan?
The Tarnstead plan, for you.
There's not much to investigate. I don't really have any other sources. A lot of what he's saying, I can verify bits of it, strangely. I saw my wings before they happened. I didn't tell anybody about it. I could tell I was changing. I could tell something was wrong. Something was different. And the things going on with the unicorn and everything, and you and me, it all just doesn't match up for what we were told. It fills a lot of gaps. You said I brought memory?
That is correct.
I wish I remembered things.
But you do.
Yeah, but not like you, like the other Warforged were. They seem to remember a time and a place and people and lives and things that. Do you remember anything like that?
Pieces. Nothing firm, nothing solid.
She nods. Well, I don't know. I just have this feeling that I need to help him. I feel like it's hard to explain it, but I feel like I need to save Roselle.
He has already created a war, or is attempting to create a war, and has assassinated 2 monarchs.
Yeah, and I basically helped with that, didn't I?
Based on certain definitions, there is no saving him at this point. He is too far gone.
Is there any other questions you have?
Are we to let this injustice stand?
I believe that it is a decision that you will need to come to, and the rest will need to come to. Because I am just as guilty as Roselle.
That is untrue.
It's very true, Dalday.
You did not have knowledge of his exact plans, nor were you involved in the creation of them. He is most definitely more guilty.
I agreed to war, though. And if I had acted, I could have stopped it.
Acted how?
I could have refused to let him be alone. I could have watched him like a hawk. I could have not just tried to have a happy night. Just assumed everything was okay.
Do you actually think that that would have been possible?
Maybe. But you never know what is possible when you don't take those steps. I have no idea how the world would have changed till day. But I wanted to be honest with you about everything that's happened and how we got here, because you deserve to know everything. And now my Fey Lady is dead. And she wants your people looked after. And in 2 days, I won't be the one doing that. That will be on you.
That is quite difficult with a pending war.
It is.
A distrust. No. And an untrustworthy figure who may, in fact, see a tool that may be used.
She frowns a bit. I don't expect you to see him the way I do.
I fear you have put too much faith in someone who is willing to throw anything away for his goal.
I think he is very scared of what happens if he doesn't win. And I'm also very scared. I could live with the idea that any of us could die. Our lives are crazy. But the idea that your heaven, your afterlife could be spirited away, that greatly upsets me. I do not like the idea of you being used as fuel. Nor do I intend to be.
And we will need to figure out a way for you to survive.
We'll find a way. But why don't you get in the hallway? My husband's probably tired.
Yeah, it's just sort of watching a little sadly.
He's on the bed eating popcorn, drinking wine.
Are you saying he's watching soap operas?
Yeah, gifted him.
Yep.
And I will say, and until day, I do believe this is entirely why I shouldn't be leader.
It does not appear that this group follows a leader based on your descriptions of events, but that is your decision. No one can make you a leader.
Well, I'm saying if another one is chosen, it is appropriate. Though, God help any of us trying to lead this mess.
Did anyone else get like serious overtones or suddenly let them take it? I don't know
Come on,
just by
bitches.
hearing, but I sounded that
If
kind of
anyone else has
like,
it, good luck to the fuckers.
Good luck to those fuckers.
Pretty much.
Sucker.
If you need anything in the next few days, I will try to make time for you.
I will not attempt to bring any great strain upon you. Enjoy your time. Both of you.
Yeah.
And shooing the Warforged out the door.
Nod.
Go live in the hallway. I will salute Telday, as I do.
We'll salute.
Mhm.
Both.
I was imagining Telday was just going to start screaming, "You're not military, you don't do that."
Every military person he's seen has done that to me.
And as you sort of close the door on Telday, yeah, quickly takes your hand. Yeah, it's not too late for us to just go, right?
Just run away.
Yeah. You're
Where do
really,
you want to go?
I don't know, anywhere.
There's a boat in the harbor. We could go north.
Yeah, yes, North City.
North cities, maybe bigger forests, something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a great big forest here, right?
Nobody'd find us. We're the best at hiding.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And you wouldn't have to go down any stupid hole.
Going down a stupid hole to save a little girl. You can't tell me that's something I wouldn't do.
In fact, it's something you would do is what's scaring me.
I'll pull him close and give him a kiss on the forehead.
He hugs you very tightly.
I'm gonna wake up gassed in a burlap sack somewhere. Tell Dave, care.
Burlap sack. You'd be in a small bag because he'd take your ring off while you were asleep.
Yeah.
It'd be
Easy to pack around.
I'm saving you, dear.
Saving you.
Got you in a coin purse.
Right.
Yeah.
Downstairs crowd. What are you doing? Anything you wish to discuss, or are you going to go to bed? Bedtime?
Actually, getting out the. Why am I drawing a blank on this freaking? Bringing the scarf out.
You're getting scarf out? Okay, you're going to put that on.
Yep.
I'm going to roll to see if she's awake.
I haven't slept 2 days. I am going to bed.
Oh no, Blackie.
Alright, who's gonna go back up to the bar?
Good night, Corvus. Bye, Archie.
Just
Hi.
a very quiet wave over her shoulder.
Ooh.
Because supposed to choose to get for awake for sleep.
Right,
I don't
so
know.
when you put the scarf on, after only a scant few seconds, you hear a familiar voice in your head. Tarek?
Hi, Grandma.
Are you okay, darling?
Mostly. Just some issues here, but haven't talked to you in a little bit, so.
Is something troubling you, dear?
Troubling, some questions. Because I can't remember. Had I let her know? I don't think I let her know about the second priest yet, had I?
You.
You
I
cut
don't
out.
think you've talked.
No.
I don't think you've talked about it since.
You haven't even talked about the adorable dragon girl you met.
Yeah, she's been asleep since this.
Well, I haven't tried to contact her since either. I don't think.
You've been asleep.
Had found another priest of Morgani that disappeared.
Another one?
Yeah. Only thing I was able to find going through the church was the Eye of Morgani constellation carved under the altar. which is gone now.
The carving?
Constellation is gone.
The constellation's gone.
Yes.
What, how do you mean?
When you look for to where the constellation is, there's no stars there.
It's troubling.
It is.
Are you looking into it? Are you better not be putting yourself into harm's way?
I told his daughter that I would help her.
Oh, his daughter?
Yes.
And who is she?
She's well, she thought I was a little bit more closer to her. She's a half dragon.
What is her family name?
Her father was, oh God, my writing, Martin Bellis. Looks like that one's bad. They wrote her name well, but her name, her last name was Ixon. Oh God, had to do that to me, Allie. Exonoth.
Exonoth. Firetooth.
Yeah, she's a red.
She's a red.
Half red.
I think I remember her mother.
She's been keeping an eye on the temple. It's all boarded. It's all closed up for everybody right now.
Is there some way I can help you?
Have you ever heard any stories of the constellations disappearing?
The stars have changed over time, but it's never all at once. Stars sometimes wink out, new ones appear. For an entire constellation to vanish is a omen.
This is not easy to ask, Grandma. In the dreams, you protect me. Is this something you're doing?
I hope you don't mind. I am just focused on you. Trying to guard you. If it's an intrusion, I can stop.
No, I do not want that. What is really the connection between Morgani and dragons?
We are her creation. We are her chosen. We are of her. That is what our legends say. And the gods created mortal races, sculpted them from the earth, some stories say, whereas Morgani gave her blood for us. We are of her, not just made by her.
Do you have a deeper connection to Morgani? Or
I can't say. As dragons get older, we'll feel a call. And it does get stronger with time. But to say that makes us closer to her, I don't know. Faith is complicated for our kind.
could something like that call be what's happening?
with the priests and the disappearances.
Yes.
I know that in certain times long ago, we have felt Morgani's anger. My parents once told me that many dragons were riled to a vicious bloodlust over something they didn't even know. She can exert influence, but why she would make priests disappear or plague them with dreams, I don't know.
Have you ever heard of her bringing mortals to her? Not through her angels, but her directly?
I can't say I have, no. Not to say it couldn't happen. She is a god.
Wish I could had met a cleric of Morgani at some point to know if there's any connection here directly to her, or if it's just something else.
You want to know more of her intentions? There are many places in the world that you can go to try and get a glimpse of the divine. All the religions have them.
I'm guessing the eye is one of them.
Just one that the non-draconic races know. But there are many more. This is rich in magical energy. Some even here on this continent.
Was there any near Tarnstead?
Find near as the human walks or as the dragon flies.
As the human walks.
Nowhere near. But you know the mountains. There is a place within the mountains, one of the peaks. It is strong. Mages used to go there long ago to try and define new spell work from her before the scientific approach took over.
Is that in the area of your mountain, the mountains you live in, or?
Far south of me. I believe it's the territory that the Goliaths call their own now.
Is that still part of the range of your mountains?
Connected. If you get a map out, I am watching. I can try and point you.
Did we end up with a map sometime?
Did you end up with a map sometime?
Out of character, did we?
I don't know. Have you guys ever bought a map? Like a proper one? I don't think so.
Nobody else in the party's here. It's just me.
I mean,
No, we have not bought a map.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or have them.
out of character, I know I haven't.
Yeah, I don't think any of you have.
I'm playing the least forethought character in the group. So.
My characters had thought of it. I keep
Second
forgetting. Unfortunately, I do not have one. I'll investor tomorrow to pick one up and try contacting you.
Good. In that case, I will show you tomorrow. Eric?
The only map we have, according to my records, is the map
Little
we had
Adventurers map.
to her house.
Yeah.
Which was a bit of a local map.
Yeah. Yes, Grandma.
If you really want to know what is happening, or to find some influence from this, you may go outside of my protection. I sense how the dreams trouble you, my dear.
I will put thought to that tonight.
Please be careful.
I will, Grandma.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too, Grandma.
Rest well. And
you too.
the connection drops.
Okay. You should take the scarf off, and he's gonna head to bed.
Okay. Right, well, anyone else that might have seen Carrick just saw him just sort of sitting there with a scarf on for a bit.
I mean, the party all knows what it is, so the rest of the time it may have been a what's going on.
Well, does he actually talk to himself, or is it all in his head for that? Because I guess that would be the tipping point.
Allie's debating which is more entertaining to her.
I'd say you can internalize it.
Well, I know when we were in Dulvewood, he was talking when I was on his shoulder, two different voices when he had Rick Beale in him and he was talking to his grandma, and both were out loud. And I had a really confusing time.
I will say
it might have gotten better over this time.
Because it's been
Yep.
a lot of
One
time.
could argue the
His
fact that
lips
Rick
might
Beale
still
was
move.
inside him at the time.
I probably still, if people can live free, they probably are figuring out. But for the most part, it's pretty silent now because he's getting more used to this and magic in general.
Okay. All right. Anyone else have business they wish to take care of?
RJ is still trying to talk to Raziel.
You going to keep calling out to him?
Yep, out in Navardo.
Okay. How long are you guys been doing this?
She'd probably be off and on doing it during mostly until later on when and she didn't get anything.
Give me intelligence roll with advantage because you've sort of come across this before.
Gonna Rick Beale.
You know, RG, that he's probably hearing you, and if he was going to talk to you, he's probably not going to be able to get away until very, very late. So your best
Then
bet
she'd
might be in
waiting.
the AM.
Mm-hmm. Then she'd probably get a couple hours, get her trance done, and then earlier in the AM.
Okay. All right. Anyone else before I cover this?
Corvus dead.
You going to bed, Corvus?
Yeah, he's
I heard
been
that
awake
he's going
for
to
2
dead.
days.
Yeah.
Cass is going to go to bed.
I am doing my usual nightlies where I pray to various people, and I'm singing a lullaby for Rhea. Then I'm going to sleep on my husband with the ring off.
Ah. Ah.
But is
Okay.
he keeping his ring on?
Yes, so cozy. Right. RG.
Just sprawled over his face.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 2 a.m. When you hear a flutter of wings from within the stables just outside the Fardo.
Mm-hmm. She'll
And
calmly step outside.
there's a rather tired, bedraggled looking Raziel there. He's wearing what was most of his uniform. The jacket seems to be off, the sleeves are rolled up, and seems a bit dishevelled.
I see you've been busy.
Quite busy.
Well, you know, starting a war does that.
Yeah. What can I do for you, RG?
Well, originally I was going to tell you that I knew you moved before the attack happened. Save the kids, but you're not bothering trying to hide it.
No point now.
And she's going to fold her arms, still glare at him. At the point you talked to Gifton and Carrick, do you honestly think you could have stopped it? You could have stopped them from doing it anyways?
I could have ended the lives of the men that wanted to do this. That I helped do this, yes.
And so you still decided you pulled them in the day before without any time to even think. anytime you talk to anything, just dump that on them and then go through with it anyways?
I was hopeful. And I was wrong too, yes. I shouldn't have involved them.
I agree, you fucking shouldn't have.
What is this? Are you here to ask me to stay out of their lives now?
Why fucking bother?
Because you are the only people in a long time I have bothered to listen to.
No, I'm saying why fucking bother telling you to stay away? All they'll do is get gift and pissed off.
Because it depends how it happens, doesn't it? Whether they think it's come from you or come from me.
She won't believe it's come from you. She already knows I'm pissed at you, and I'm kind of pissed at her.
And what do you want?
Honestly, I don't fucking know what.
And he's actually going to sit down on a, big thing of hay nearby.
Honestly, I was just so fucking pissed off, but apparently those two already knew, and no one bothered to tell me. No one bothered to tell any of the rest.
Are you more bothered about what's happened or being kept out of the loop?
I don't know, and that's the part I hate.
If I had brought you in, what would you have said?
Any idea to try and save everyone that involves killing people is the wrong fucking move.
You have killed plenty of people to save others.
I agree I have. But those are people who've done bad things or that sort of thing. These people were just trying to rule their people to the best of their ability.
He just nods.
And Christ, I don't know, how long have you had for this plan? And this is what you came up with? This was, what, plan B at this point? Plan A was the gentleman, obviously. What's this, plan B, C? Plan fuck it?
Many plans.
How many other plans have gone wrong for this to be the one that you decided was the best?
More than I'd care to admit.
Like, you told us that you want to have people you could trust, and we laid all our cards out on the table. And then we find out you have half the deck up your fucking sleeve. How do you expect us to be able to work with you and work with this when, very obviously, you don't seem to trust us enough to tell all of us everything?
Could I have trusted you?
If everyone else had decided it was the best, I would have shut my trap and gone.
And how would that have made you feel?
Fucking terrible. Probably about as terrible as I feel now.
Is it not a sparing of pain?
No. Pain happens either way. At least if you know it's coming, then you're not blindsided by it.
And all I can do is say I'm sorry, as little as that is worth.
I think the thing you seem... I don't know if you forget it or just don't realize it, but you're playing a very, very long game with this, and I get that. But everyone right now, like, you have to do things in the short term to make it so the long game works. We all exist in that short. We don't get the long term of this.
Do you want to know what the actual long-term plan I had was many, many thousands of years ago?
What was it?
If I wiped out every living being in existence, the gods would have nothing to harvest for faith. Don't talk to me about not thinking about people. I do. There is a scale, a slider to this. If I go too short term, then the long term just won't work.
Why didn't you try, I don't know, like fucking... Couldn't you have gotten some to get the Goliaths back under control and send them through there? Then you just make overtones of, hey, you're dealing with Goliath problem. Why don't we help you deal with that? And then everyone's happy.
Because people are distrustful.
Of course people are distrustful. They're people.
Us and Noran have spent years bickering at each other's throats. Noran isn't just going to roll over and let Barras send military into a system.
You don't send military, you send a couple adventure. You tell them you're not sending them on your payroll and like that. Shit like that.
Maybe it could have worked. But let's... maybe. I know this will work.
You hope this will.
I know this will work. I've already come out of the discussions tonight. I am being given full control. We are preparing for war.
I'm not saying you're short. You're going to get your war. You're going to get your people. You don't know if the long term. Because like what? You're going to send adventure groups in there and tell them, hey, by the way, look out for this thing. Go here, find this thing. What's to stop them from just saying, didn't find it and pocketing, you're selling it, what have you? They've got no personal stake in it at that point. They've got nothing going, hey, he's offered us a large sum of money to go find this thing. That's what people like. That's what they do. That's what adventurers fucking love. Money.
Yes.
We're helping people. Those seem to be few and far between from the scene.
I hope that you are incorrect on this matter, but I can't disagree that there is always a risk.
Look, the big thing is, if you're going to keep playing this game and you want us to be on your side and help you with it, show us more of the fucking deck.
There's a good chance Gifton will die.
She's already resigned herself.
I plan to try and stop it.
Try and stop her from dying or from doing the thing?
Dying.
How are you going to be able to stop her from dying? What'll happen? What'll happen instead?
Where she's going, it will begin siphoning in off her energy. Once enough energy is collected, the last seal will break. And I'm hoping I can pull her out then, but it will cost me something. Something very important.
What do you think that is?
The leash on Hea.
And then she'll be free, truly free. You don't know if she'll be willing to play ball.
I hope she'll be willing to play ball, but well, you know me, I'm untrustworthy and I always try to have a backup. But this time I'm going to abandon it just to save one mortal little thing that matters far too much to me.
One mortal who reminds you of her.
Yeah.
Hell, one mortal who's seen her, whose the essence of her is merged into her.
Which is in itself is selfishness in its extreme. Trying to spare her. Tell him
about that.
Trying to spare her when I'm letting so many other things perish. Because she means something to me. This isn't how it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be above it all.
To be fair, a good chunk of this isn't how you'd meant it to be. I'm pretty sure that happened around the point the gentleman attempted to kill you.
But I made do with what I had and I rebuilt my plans. This is not the kind of shake-up I was expecting.
Well, unfortunately, that is what it is.
And what would you do in this case?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the angel who's had thousands upon thousands of years to consider these ideas.
But you think
I'm an
you
elf
know well.
I'm an elf who up to about 6 months ago was a raging drunk.
Well, You're a raging drunk who thinks they can lecture me, so I'd like to hear your opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd either seen why. Like, do you know why exactly? Like the gentleman turned against you? Because it seems like you tailored them pretty good for what you wanted. They can teleport wherever they feel. They can get in and out without being detected.
I'd like to say it was just a lust for power, but I think they heard whispers.
You think something worse got him?
I think what your friend Corvus is doing is taking him dangerously close to it as well.
Probably, but I don't really have the means to stop him on that one. I think of all the group and one of the people he probably listened to the least.
I mean, what would you do about Gifton? I'm about to potentially unleash a very bitter, angry god who I hope I have coached well, but I cannot, for even the moment, guarantee will be all good. Do I spare Gifton so that I can be happy and content with myself and my decisions? Or do I make sure I can control what I am unleashing?
If it was me, I'd bring that decision to her. Let her make it.
You know what she'd say.
I do. But at least then it's her decision and not anyone else. If she feels she has to die to make a guarantee, then it sucks. She's the only person who listened to me worth a damn in the last 6 months at all, but she feels that would be the guarantee for it, and that's her decision to make. And only her decision.
Well,
it's her life.
Self-sacrificing heroes have always been so useful.
It makes the world turn.
But I suppose that's why I get to be the cruel, capricious angel and decide it's my decision. He says, standing up and sort of brushing his outfit off.
You're not cruel, you're far too nice, and you tend to assume you know more than you do. Which is a bit of a mirror.
One of those is correct, one of those not so much.
Yeah, well, depends on how you look at it.
Still, what would you like of me, RG? Retribution? Promise that I'll pay for my crimes?
Fucking no. Filled with anger all fucking day over this, and now I'm tired.
I'd offer to take that away for you, but I think you need it.
If it makes you feel any better, I told Gifton she's in charge from now on. I stopped it. No use pretending I was the one in charge when I never was.
Frankly, I don't think it matters who's in charge in this group. You all seem to band together anyway, even when these upsets happen.
I mean it in a nice way I can say that, but I don't think you believe that.
You're still together, aren't you? Are you planning on leaving?
No, I don't mean that. I mean that it matters who's in charge.
Maybe you're right.
Everyone goes to somebody, everyone goes to someone specific for their problems, that sort of thing. Her. I'll do before. Someone who knew what to say, knew what to do.
Is easy to talk to.
So is she. Just people open up more than they mean to when they talk to her.
Yes, they do.
And I think that's part of the reason people want to keep her safe, don't you?
And I think you are entirely correct on that, and that is why I will keep her safe.
Even if you go through it anyways, at least tell her. Even if you make her some blind promise that you're going to and do it anyway.
I will talk to her. We will have a trip to talk anyway. I can promise you something. I will leave you all alone for a while, at least, and if I do approach you again, it will be on terms of your choice.
I'd only give one like that. She views you as a friend.
And that's why I'm trying to do this as a friend. No more manipulation after this. Once this is done, if I ask you to do something, it will be with the full knowledge of what you're doing.
I appreciate it.
And
Like I said, if you stop playing with half the deck up your sleeve, are more likely to want to help you.
I can't promise that there won't always be something that I don't say, but I will tell you what I can. If I don't, it is for a very good reason, for your safety, for...
Do the best you can.
I will.
Well, I hope you have a good night. Sorry for bothering you all damn day.
It's fine. Would you tell Care in the morning that Rick Beale should be returning shortly?
Sure.
Apparently, that dragon problem has been taken care of by a group of adventurers.
What was up with the dragon now? Just generally pissed off, or was that some in the bigger picture?
Seemed unintelligible, would not communicate. Just angry.
Do you think that might have been
Something
Michael?
to do with... No, not Michael's influence. I doubt they would have been able to take down if it was Michael. I fear it might have something to do with Carrick's problem.
With Morgani and all that?
I'm going to be trying to contact Father to see what's happening with Morgani. Oh. Good night, Archie.
Best of luck.
He nods and he just starts walking down the street.
Are you just gonna go back in the Bardo and kind of slump down?
Okay. Morning breaks. Waking
Everyone
time
dies.
for everybody.
Yay.
You are awoken by the sound of bells. Strange bells you've not heard in the city before.
Oh no.
Would anyone
Like
like
it.
to give me a roll to see what this is? It will be a history check.
Are they loud?
It's very loud.
I bet
That's
you it's the
annoying.
bells of war.
Are you restricting us to
I am not
only-
restricting anybody.
Okay, then I will roll.
I had appropriate gift and roll.
It is too early for bells.
Nope, it's
I'm getting
out of character,
dressed.
It's bells of morning. They're announcing what actually happened.
It's too early for bells.
Right. But anyone that rolled a 15 or over, if you're not old enough to have heard them, you have heard about them. Someone like RG may have actually heard them in the past, but maybe not that far out. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Now, these are the bells that are rung when the king and or queen passes.
So it's kind of doleful bells rather than...
Doleful bells rung
Happier.
in a specific pattern and length. And it is definitely the start of an official announcement of the passing of the reigning monarchs. Telde, you also know that today will likely be the meeting of a council that will then proclaim the young prince as a new king.
All right, these bells are ringing at time when people are just generally...
It's about 7 a.m.
Yeah, so the rest of the group isn't really up and moving around, except for now bells are ringing.
I was just saying.
Cass is up and moving.
That's up. I'm waking up.
I'm coming out dressed.
Why are the bells so early and loud?
That is the official announcement that the king and queen are dead.
What he said.
There will also likely be a council determining or confirming the appointment of the new monarch.
They close stores for stuff like shops for stuff like this.
They may.
Possibly.
Yes.
I really need to get something today.
What did you need to get?
I need to get a map.
Oh, I'm
Well,
sorry.
I am hoping to see the captain today. He may have some maps.
You could always go to the library.
Yeah, we could go to the library and get you a
They
map.
likely have
I'm
several.
supposed to go in the library either.
Oh,
You
fine.
can't-
I
you
will
can't-
go in the library and get you a map. What do you need a
can't
map
take
of?
anything out of the library.
Can I make a copy of it?
Likely not.
Cass is walking by.
Why
They
not?
won't even
If I
let
bring
you
my
through
own-
the door.
If I get my own paper and pen, or Carrick, don't you have like a little thing?
Corvus, they don't actually have a thing about making copies.
Actually, out of
Okay.
character, I'm going to actually ask this because I understood her say basically telling us not to come back. She
She meant
referring
more
to the
her
whole-
room.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will go then to the library.
But I have been sitting
Oh.
here in delight that the characters assume that it means they're banned from the library.
Well,
Library.
I'm going to go, and maybe I can hire a scribe or somebody to copy a map for me. What do you need a map of? What area?
I need a copy of the mountain. I need of the mountains east of Tarnstead, that whole range.
Fine, I'll go get that. And I'm gonna go and have breakfast first, and or
Cass is
or do
already
whatever we're
heading
doing.
out the door.
Okay. When you guys go downstairs, you see Sigrid actually weeping in Yalgrim's arms.
Oh, Sigrid, sweetie.
Oh, my dears, I'm sorry. And she...
No, it's fine. It's terrible. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
don't
gonna go over
understand
and
how
give
this
her a
could
hug.
have happened. And she'll actually embrace you tightly.
No.
Fuck. All right. 1 second.
Uh-oh.
Ah, fuck.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Tilde
Oh God!
sadly going to,
Where's my silence spell?
sadly, in the out of character description, raise his hand slightly and go, well, you see,
No, Tilde.
people
No,
who have been
stop.
armed with...
Tilde, stop. Cease. No,
Oh.
no. She doesn't actually want that answered.
The teary-faced orphan lady's looking at you in confusion, Tilde.
Taldek takes things very literal.
kind of
Sorry
look
for the
back
confusion.
and forth between her.
It looks like she's
and
so lacking in
Gifton.
knowledge, Tilde.
Social etiquette dictates that this is not a question that was meant to be answered. Tilde, it was rhetorical.
And just kind of looking back and forth because she looks confused, and it's like,
You're-
She
you-
clearly
you-
needs to know.
but she seems to want to know. Not actually
It
gonna
was
say
rhetorical, right, Sigrid? You don't
I-
actually want to know what happened in
I-
great and terrible detail.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, see, don't tell they stop.
Okay. Lower his hand.
I'm sorry, he's very literal.
Nothing gets
It goes
nothing
over his
goes
head.
over his head.
Oh, he is quite tall.
And he has a horn.
King Theron was such a good king.
How about we let you have some quiet time to...
Correct.
No, of course. You're hungry? I bet you are all hungry. And she actually turns on heel and sort of rushes into the kitchen.
Oh no, crying and cooking are a bad mix.
I was going to suggest, why don't you cook or something, if she would allow that.
And Yalgrim actually sort of just quickly sort of shakes his head at you all and goes, No, she'll be cooking all day now. This process.
Oh, I'm very sorry.
Is-
Very, very sorry.
Is this not the first time a monarch has died?
I mean, in history, no.
What usually happens? I'm unaware.
Well, it sounds like the young prince is still alive.
Yeah, the young
Yes.
prince and the princess.
Then I imagine he'll be proclaimed as the new king today, and then in about a week's time, they will hold a state funeral for the king and queen.
In a week.
I think about 9 days is the tradition.
Vigils and whatnot.
Yeah. Today will be a day of mourning, and then strange celebrations later. It's always a mix.
9 days.
And why is something the matter?
Oh, I was just thinking about 9 days. Anybody have anything they want to do today? Well, I should get to the library and go see about that map. Kara, do you want to go find... Is there a park? Did you know, Yelgrim? Is there a park anywhere?
Yes.
Trees, grass?
There's a park near the royal courts. Although, frankly, some of the nicer kept areas are outside the walls.
Well, maybe we'll see if there's one. The I don't know is it Toby?
Mm-hmm.
What happened there?
I think Toby's bouncing in and out.
Yep. Well, we'll see if there's one close to that temple I told you about. We can go check that out, but we gotta stop by the library and get a map made real quick.
Would want me to come along?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
And you see Care sort of just patting Dazzle, looking very sullen himself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, it's not about the eyes, is it?
You still have them.
Yes, I still have your eyes, Corvus.
Can I have them?
You're not gonna...
I am not. Just let me have them.
Alright. And he'll actually reach into his own little bag and pull your eye jar out and hand it over to you.
Thank you.
And I will nod to everybody as me and Kara head out.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Gifton,
Yeah.
Care is allowed in. You will have to pay a fee to gain entry into the library. So you may just want to have Care do it.
No,
think
I'll
we
pay
can
the fee.
afford
That's
it.
fine. Maybe they have some books on different fashions or something like that. It'd be nice to have something to.
It's
kind of
500
look at.
gold.
That's fine.
All right.
Don't you know, Corvus, we're rich now.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's still a sizable sum, regardless of who you are.
Well, we'll read many books to make up for it.
You read all the books. Remember the medical books I pointed out as well.
Oh, you know what we should do? I want to see if there's a book on the fashions of Illin's continent. I'm going to dress you up like an Illin lord.
Ooh. Only if you dress up as an Indian lady.
Yeah, we can have a matching set. It'll be quite lovely. It'll be the talk.
Are you just gonna sit there scratching your chin and go, nothing be in bad form for me to say all.
Was it? You broke up a bit.
You're cutting.
Archie's actually going to, when they're talking about, just scratch your chin and go, I wonder if it'd be bad form for me to say I'm Archie Thal for that and see if I can get a free member.
Good luck with that.
Worth a try. Maybe they have a family plan.
Oh, maybe they do. Yeah, we can hear you.
Can we count as a family?
Oh, do you want to be family Carrick? Are you Carrick Brotgren?
It's okay, son. And Care puts his hand on your shoulder. Even if they don't
nod
acknowledge you,
firmly.
we do.
Shakes his head. I wonder if I could disguise myself and just go in there.
What told they?
Oh, I just said I had not realized, but I didn't want to cut off Carrick.
You should look. Wonder if I should just go do that on my own. I could probably disguise myself so that Lady Gentle wouldn't know I was there.
Oh my god, why are you so scared of her? She seems like a nice, horrible, villainous lady. So.
Because I don't want, if I pay for something, I want to be kicked back out.
I am fairly sure that she likely was only warning us to stay out of that particular area, and probably out of her way.
You really think so?
She did
mine-
see it.
Well, maybe not in Corvus's case.
Well, and how else am I going to get in contact with her unless I go to the library? I'm going to go to the
Well,
library.
From
I mean, she
us.
does want to keep in contact with you, all right?
Yeah, I mean, she's got a tracking device in Corvus. I mean, she kind of knows where he is every waking moment of the day.
Maybe I should
And others.
go there
Every
and
waking moment.
if I can find anything about all this stuff going on.
Well, why don't you come with us? But we're heading out. Goodbye.
Enjoy the library.
I'm gonna go with them.
Carrick, before you
Yes.
leave,
Yes.
if you are out at that time, drink this.
Okay.
You hand over the third dose.
I'm just gonna slip it in his pouch. I have a feeling I'll be out, but I'll do it.
That Telday.
Yes.
On that note, how are you feeling?
You feel fine and dandy, Talday.
I am absolutely at optimal levels.
Even during the ingestion of this fluid from the day before and yesterday.
Oh,
Talday,
I have
you
a
have not
question.
noticed any
designed
noticeable
to-
thing.
I've not noticed any particular effect.
I have a question for the GM.
I'm
Because we
Andy.
watched him take it. How did he drink it?
There's a
Magically.
little port in his neck.
I poured
I believe he just poured it
over
over his
the
faceplate.
part of my face where there would theoretically be a mouth
He,
underneath the helmet.
he drank it just like Dr. McNinja.
Yes.
I've never watched it, so guess I'm that bad of a person. Part of me wants it to have that sound of like when it.
It's an
when a
individual-
lot of
He has like a
liquid
little
goes
ingestion port
down.
where he takes potions down. It's like the same
Yeah.
thing. It's just probably just like a little hole that everything goes in. It just makes a slopping
You know, the
noise.
one
like
night
when
in the
he's
Holy
putting-
Grail that keeps lifting up his faceplate.
Yeah.
That's Talday's mouth.
Bedivere.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I also have similar theories about how to know someone's a witch.
It's a duck.
So, nothing out of the norm. All functional to your specifications.
That is affirmative. There has been no effect.
Hey GM.
Yes.
Also, as I'm heading out behind with the other two, because I don't know if anyone else is going.
Forgot our
Um,
names.
I see. I don't want to be like you.
Just
and go,
keep,
"Here."
don't let me derail you. Just keep going.
I'm gonna actually start pulling out those books Grandma gave me that are in my bag of holding
Yes.
and seeing if anything, any of the titles jump out with any possible connection to what's going on.
Okay.
haven't-
Any particular connection to what part of what's going on? The Morgani thing, or the war, or
The Morgani.
the Morgani thing?
Yeah, the war he's trying to not think about. Right?
Don't think
So,
about the event. Okay.
He's focusing on the
So
thing.
you start
that might
looking
make someone
through
happy.
your grouping of books, and you don't see any particular titles that pop out to you. You do see a rather scuffed, old-looking book that the exterior of it is very, very hard, and yet the spine flexes rather easily. And looking at it, you think this might be made of dragon scale.
I found the Book of Mancer's shield. Yes, I made that
Book
book
of
name up.
And just it sticks out to you.
As we're walking, I'm gonna pull out and start kind of flipping through it a little bit.
Oh, this is some old draconic.
Oh God. Okay, activating my circlet.
Okay. Right. This becomes a little easier to read, although the syntax is very odd.
Oh God, it's like reading freaking Darwin's book. Again.
Yeah.
God, don't want to do that again.
No, this is more like reading the Inferno.
I guess that's like reading Darwin.
Yep. So it's basically a lot of fun. So you're basically going to have to take some time to decipher it, so that way the DM can make you spend time on it and doesn't have to come up with stuff.
I mean,
Yeah, you can actually very easily see that it's draconic folklore, as in
Oh,
dragon
that's
folklore.
even cool.
This seems to be
Okay.
old dragon legends, myths, and you do catch Eye of a Creation story.
Oh.
I'm going because it's on my list of stuff. Actually, what is in the? What is actually officially in a? Oh no, I don't have a scholar's set.
Yeah, you need
I
to get one.
Fix that.
Yeah, too bad all the shops are closed today.
Yeah, well, there's a whole list of stuff that was going to be picked up today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
okay.
I've got Keymind. I'm going to remember where that is. I'm not going to read it right now. So.
You come to the library. And you start heading up the steps towards the doors, which are not wide open, but they are ajar, you know.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You're going to head on in with care?
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Carrick.
You open up the doors, and there's Care recognizes the same old grumpy scribe, who is talking to a familiar figure. There is your Lady Gentle, just in sort of just the same sort of outfit she visited you all in. Seemingly talking to him.
Hello.
I will wait politely, like I'm waiting my turn.
You don't have to wait much, as the moment you come in, she looks up at the three of you, and a smile comes across her face. Oh, Gifton, Care, Eric.
And I'm going to give her a curtsy. Looking lovely as always.
Of course, thank you, and you as well.
I do like your style. I do really like that.
Lady of fashion.
I'm a tailor.
Oh, well, we have some very interesting books that you might like in that regard.
I was actually coming here to check that out. Also, my little boy here says he's banned from the library. Is he banned from the library?
What?
Or does he just need to get his card?
Of course not. You are an honoured guest of the library, Carrick.
All right.
And you can see the scribe looks aghast at this.
All right. Well, one moment. I need to get our membership sorted out. Thank you so much.
No, it is on me. You are consider yourselves patronaged by me.
Thank you.
Oh,
very
I
much.
couldn't.
Right, do make note of that. Any of the Tarnstead group that comes in here, they will be given full access.
After casted.
Oh,
And the scribe looks
far
positively
too kind,
ill.
my dear.
Please,
Also, what? Oh,
come in.
good.
And she actually sort of motions you to follow her.
Shit, I wasn't going to see her.
She motioning for all of us.
Yep.
She's gonna show you the nice tailoring books.
Yeah.
Next to radioactive rock.
And she'll actually lead you into the library itself. And does actually seem to be taking you over to a stack of a set of shelves that do seem to be dealing with fashions of various continents.
Oh, I'm actually quite excited about this.
Any in particular you were looking for?
Oh, I was actually looking for some of Illin's stuff because we haven't seen anything from there. I've seen a little bit of Hexenreich, I've seen some
They
Noran.
do have a rather unusual style of dress. They work a lot of the nature's own stylings into it here.
Oh, they do. Oh.
This is a good book.
Wow. Oh, this is quite interesting. I'm showing some of it to Care.
And what about you, Care? Any books you're interested in?
He's a smith by trade.
A smith by trade. Smithing. I don't read up on it too much myself, but we do have some good books on metallurgy and such. I think I'm okay for now. And Carrick, you after anything?
I think Carrick was trying to sneak away.
I'm trying to sneak my book in my bag before I
Okay, let's give her a perception check.
Probably gonna read the 13.
Why am I doing tight draw? I can actually bring up her sheet to do this.
Oh no!
I
I don't appreciate this. She has a
She's on
sheet.
that, so
press button.
Don't worry.
She's
The part
bacon.
of her sheet that you
Nope.
should
Yep,
appreciate is her bonuses.
she sees me put fancy book away. The question is, how much of that book did she see?
Your current reading.
A gift, one of many books gifted to me from my great grandmother.
Oh, well, you must tell me if it's an interesting read.
It seems to be so far, but haven't gotten to it yet.
Oh, I'm sure you didn't come here just to see me.
No, we're actually quite interested. Well, I was actually hoping to run into you. I only have a limited amount of time left in town, and I understand that your offer was quite generous. I unfortunately will not be able to take part in any of what happens after, but I was willing to have the conversation with you to fulfill my end.
Oh, marvelous.
And then I would like to leave it in Carrick's sweet little hands what exactly he would like to peruse at some point, sometime, say, in the next 6 months. That way he has some time to properly think about what he might be interested in.
I find that's perfectly acceptable.
And, of course, the level of access you grant him, I assume, would be based on how useful our conversation is to you, which would only be fair.
Very astute.
Could I have some direction before you two go off to talk?
Yes, he needs a map really
Yes.
badly.
A map? A map of what?
The lower
Does it
regions
have
of harassed along the barbarian border, the mountain range.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, we have some nice detailed maps of that. If you head up onto the second floor, we do have a cartography section. Grab whatever map you need. You do have loan of it. You can take it out to the library. I'll make sure the scribe knows.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just do
All right,
bring
good.
it back in one piece in a couple of weeks' time at least.
I should be able to return it by tomorrow. So thank you very much.
See,
Try
it's
to
not so
avoid the
bad
rock
going
liquor
to the
up there as
library
well.
and just asking things. Let's scoot along.
And,
All right,
Cassiopeia swims by your head. The scribe is a bitch.
so, I heard the bells and I heard the mutterings of yesterday, and I know you were at the event.
I try not to think about the event.
Yes, and I know it's not anything to do with us. Care to enlighten me?
Unfortunately, I knew very little before anything happened.
That's a shame. But you saw it happen?
Yes. Telde teleported across. I flew over. We managed to get the young king and princess to safety. 3 flying mages on some sort of weird boot things, using some guns and some magic. I wasn't quite able to repel as much as I'd like. She frowns. But we saved who we could. The High General's still alive, and some others.
Yes, it is a shame. King Farron Merrimore, he was soft. Easy. We'll have to see how Drace turns out.
I hope that this does not harden his heart, I say with a frown.
Well, depends how he's counselled, I suppose.
I suppose. But such is not for people like me.
I don't know, you seem to be quite in the know on things. Quite involved.
I think I'm just in good company.
Well, now you're in my company, and I shall treat you very well. Shall we?
And you are, in fact, good company.
I'm glad you say so. Shall we?
Yes.
Does your husband want to take part?
Do you want to participate, honey, or would you rather go with Carrick for a bit, help him get that map done quickly?
I would like to. I will stay by your side. He says, giving
All right.
the lady gentle a very wary look.
Yeah, Gifted speaks, or give her once in a while like a light tremble, because Gifted is actually, if she doesn't insight at all, Gifted is actually very intimidated by Lady Gentle.
I would offer you refreshments, but I'm afraid no drinks in the library.
That's fine.
No, we shan't take too long.
All right.
And she'll actually lead you to a sort of locked door on this floor, which seems to be a private study.
Okay.
And we're going to leave you there, and that's actually where we're going to end for the week.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, for part of the week.
Yeah,
for
don't
3
remind me.
days.
3
No,
days.
the week. Okay. All right. Everyone take 4,000 XP,
Oh.
and we will do this same time next week. I mean, in 3
All right.
days.
In a few days.
Yes.
Thank you for game.
You're
All right. I'm going to try
welcome.
and go to my other computer now.